Yeah.
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 Hangs onto a little bit of it. Kind of wicks it in.
Gosh.
All right, I'm almost. Actually, you know what? I don't need to fuck with this. This is me nitpicking shit.
He's
that
trying to
does
head
not-
off my butt chug
does not need
adventures.
to be nitpicked. All right, we're starting. Roll initiative, God.
Turn on to YouTube for God's sakes.
Jesus Christ! Somebody
Maybe
turn.
he'll stop.
Start streaming.
I do want to say that I'm really glad that in the Carrion Crown adventure you had all those questions about your crafting, because now I feel a lot better about crafting myself, and I'm like, all I could
because you looked it up, or because now I know like how it works, so I'm not going to be like constantly checking your math, and, like, questioning you.
Both? Like, I feel like it'll be easier
Why
for
not,
me to have
though?
someone there who understands what I'm doing, so it's like I don't have to do all of the work myself.
Yeah, it's a little weird and a little ambiguous, but I mean, you guys are going to be like very overpowered for this game. I have like come to realize just after like making my crafter, my level 6 crafter, who specialized in spellcraft and like crafting wondrous items and stuff. I was like, man, they're gonna be real beefy. But you know what? That's
You do
Why
have to
would I
have
remember that?
access to crafting materials.
I mean,
And it takes twice as long if you're not in a city.
I think we'll. I'm not gonna spike his wheel intentionally, but I don't think
it is
that'll
the
be
only
a-
reason I created this character.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, that would be that would feel pretty poopy.
You have to remember, I spent the entire last combat invisible, so.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody want to fill us in on last time in Rise of the Runelords?
Raz.
We explored the lower dungeon. We found the Barghest. I found a lab torture room where alchemical things were going on.
Mm-hmm.
We found the throne room of an old man that the statues around this dungeon appear to be made after.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept repeating a phrase over and over. He said, "Is upon us, but I command you remain. Witness my power. How Alizenist petty wrath is but a flash compared to my strength. Take my final work to your graves, and let its memory be the lasting thing for you."
Right.
And then we connected this to what we saw in the ruins under Sandpoint, which the plaques on those statues referenced that those statues were modeled after Alasnist.
I pronounce it Alasnus, but
Okay.
you know.
And this led me to think that there might be a Sinwell somewhere around here, similar to what we found under Sandpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And so after much ado about nothing, we entered this room and found a bunch of shadow monsters, and they were sapping everybody's strength that they hit. But we killed them rather handily.
You did. You also went into the room with the like brazier, and there was like this Malfeshnikor, this like massive, incredibly powerful Barghest that attempted to coerce the Demon Touch member of your party without success, I'm afraid, for him, and then did his best to
trying to get in my
destroy.
head.
Yeah, and I don't believe that was dug into super deeply, but I think you guys did cover it a little bit before we wrapped up. Let's see, what else? You had noticed, these weird primordial skeletons that had clearly had some deranged experiments going on, where you found the key to get into that room. I think that you would discern that there was some sort of like lock on that door, like incredibly powerful. So that demon had probably been stuck in there for a very, very long time. And then you guys vanquished the shadows, the shadow creatures that came out of the sarcophagi.
What could I roll to see what the shadow things were?
I believe that would be Blaine's.
Would it be religion? Because I
confirm. Actually, roll religion. Yeah, I don't remember if you guys rolled for it last time, but do.
They were for sure undead.
Oh, cool. Well, I don't have religion, so I mean, I can roll it untrained, but
Okay.
basic knowledge.
Basic knowledge would tell you that these were likely the dispossessed spirits or reanimated spirits of the inhabitants of the sarcophagi where they from which they emerged.
Now there's 3 of them and 6 sarcophagi. Do I think there might be more?
I don't think you know that with a knowledge religion check.
Can I detect magic on the sarcophagi?
Yeah. You do so, and as you're examining the others, you don't detect any magic, but you know that you don't know enough about these things to really say for certain why those ones existed and why there may or may not be any in the others.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, I look to everyone and say, well, I don't think there's any more in the other sarcophagi, but I could be wrong. I don't really know.
Roll initiative. 3 more No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you guys hear a disembodied voice say that,
Yeah.
by the way, because I'm still invisible.
Oh, yeah.
What does roll initiative mean?
Yeah, is there, I guess, did they drop anything when they died? Like, anything of note around the
They
room?
disappeared. They basically evaporated into puffs of shadowy. There's a little pile of ectoplasm on the ground. That is
Vanya,
quickly
there's
fading.
stuff you can do with the
It's
vials.
quickly fading from existence. But
I help scoop some into vials for Vanya's experiments.
okay.
Are the sarcophagi open, or are they like still closed?
They're still closed. These shadowy creatures emerged through them. You will remember that they were incorporeal, and they seem to have no
Yes.
trouble moving through solid objects or solid flesh. I
Yeah,
regret
yeah,
using that
I
terminology.
Or solid swords.
I can move through solid flesh.
Yes. Go
I
ahead,
can move through
make it
liquid
solid.
flesh.
Would you maybe call that hard flesh?
You lose 1 character level permanently. It's now gone.
I look around the room for anything of interesting. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Thorough
want to inspect the
documentation.
sarcophagi.
You're sorry. What did everybody else say? There was some
Not spellcraft.
mishmash.
I'm inspecting the sarcophagi for danger.
Okay. What else is everybody else looking at?
I am inspecting for any to determine what the significance of either this room or these sarcophagi is. Like, are these maybe like the family members of the person who owned this place? Like why did these people get to be in sarcophagi? If they are in fact, well, they've been described as sarcophagi.
Roll me
If
an
they do, in fact,
intelligence. Roll me a flat intelligence, or maybe even a sense motive. I would take.
I will definitely give you an intelligence roll.
I would think so. I'll just read you guys the description of this room again as well. 4 pillars support the domed ceiling of this room. Several dark alcoves containing standing sarcophagi grace the walls, and a statue of a stern man wielding a glaive and holding a book stands in the southern part of the chamber. Give me a history check as well.
It's an ability score roll. They're never great.
If I could do history instead, might I do history?
Yeah, do history.
Okay.
That will not be instead, but I would also allow it.
Alrighty, that's much better.
Mine is untrained, so I only get basic knowledge. Why don't I have that trained?
Unfortunately,
I have so goddamn
Basic
many knowledge
party.
skills.
unfortunately, these are not going to cut it for too much more. Except that I would say that for Vanya, you know what? I don't think you're connecting. Oh, both of the intelligent people in your group are not putting too much together. As you guys are standing there, like looking at the statues, looking at the sarcophagi, and just kind of mulling over your adventure so far and trying to piece this together and marry these clues together. Blythe, as you are looking over at the sarcophagi and just very closely inspecting everything, you notice that there seems to be a strange crack in the brickwork through which you can feel a minor airflow. Right over here, you sense it.
Over where?
Over. Oh, yeah, I'm on the right layer, I think.
Yeah, I just missed it. Okay.
Yeah, you feel like a very gentle breeze, and as you move over to inspect it, you see that the seams on some of this brickwork are not quite together properly, in a similar way that the secret door that you had seen upstairs led down here in the first place.
Cardi, you might want to look at this. I can feel air on this crack. Is it another secret thing? Like you, would you know? You seemed good at that earlier.
Yeah, Cardi's, after like a couple minutes of looking around the room, the invisibility fades away, and Cardi goes over to where Blythe is standing.
Whoa! Where'd you show up?
She showed up right there, like in front of. Didn't you see?
No, he just, or she, just appeared.
Did you appear, or are you still invisible?
Well, he
I'm
said he
turning it
just
off.
got out of. He just got out.
I just appear after my
Okay.
invisibility fades.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
I walk up to the crack that Blythe shows me, and I inspect it for secret doors, I guess.
Yeah, I think refresh me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure your stone sense is just like an at-will ability, right? Like you can just take time
It's
to.
a +2 to notice unusual stoneworks, secret doors, etc.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you're a dwarf, right?
So that's an
Then
18.
okay. Then in that case, as you're like really paying attention to this, you can feel that there's certainly like a hollow space, roughly 5 feet wide on the other side. Feels like there's some sort of hallway.
I think there's something right behind here, and I look for sort of like activating mechanisms and stuff.
I ready my double sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you look around, there doesn't appear to be any kind of activating mechanism of any kind.
Was that in person, Matt, or was that in character?
In character.
Oh, okay.
What? Sorry, I missed it. What did he say?
It seems like this is a room where a bunch of rich people were buried, no?
Yeah.
That seems to be the case.
Well, it doesn't look like they're really buried.
Well, true. Surely we should check the sarcophagi for, gold and things, no?
We should be
Yeah.
careful if we do.
It's
I
not
didn't-
very
People
nice.
be trapped, other than the
Yeah.
shadows.
I didn't see anything. Like, this crack is the most interesting thing I could find.
Well,
The
if
crack
there
with
is
the air
something
coming
bad,
out?
You were
then-
inspecting the outside of the sarcophagi.
That
I
is
will
true.
say,
I didn't open them. But I was inspecting them for, like, anything that looked trapped or dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly we could at least open the ones that the shadows already came out of. They did
Yeah.
attack us first.
Isn't that like defiling? Isn't that being disrespectful?
I don't
Well,
know.
if the shadows attack you, there's no...
Damon, aren't you like half orc? Like,
Oh,
doesn't your culture like pillage
Party!
whole
That's
towns
right.
for loot?
Party!
Yeah, you
Oh,
seem like
eh.
very concerned about, respecting the dead.
I mean,
are you a,
I guess
are you a,
I really haven't. I really haven't like asked you about your history or anything, but like, it's a bit confusing, isn't it? Like that you're so concerned about that. Like,
Vanya's
Well-
tisking at you.
Eugene gets a look on his face like, it's working. It's working.
no. We're in an unfamiliar place, and I don't like being down here in the dark, and I just want to see sunlight again. Ugh.
very well, very well. Well, I'm gonna look at this crack and see if I can figure out a way through. But if y'all want to open the sarcophagi, I would
Yes.
recommend that
Do
you
you
start
smell
with the
anything
ones.
coming from that crack?
I will say that though it looks like it was bricked up. It looks like it was sort of bricked up later. And with your stone sense, you don't get the sense that it's particularly thick of a wall there.
Okay.
Um,
I turn to everyone and say, why don't y'all check out the sarcophagi where the shadow creatures came out? Damon, you're pretty strong. Help me with this. I think this might be a new wall here.
Do
you think you could use
I-
your strength and sort of bust through?
Sure. Should I punch it?
I was thinking more like a shoulder tackle sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Don't use head. Got it.
One of you want to break open one of these sarcophagi? I'll
I'd like to try to push the lid off of this one.
Well, I think the stone is harder than my shoulder.
Oh, Damon, don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, you guys see Damon Savagemore step up, and he's clearly very huffy from not seeing sunlight in a couple hours.
Not feeling anything.
Yeah, and he just like backs up and like runs and like throws his shoulder into this wall, and you hear a very satisfying crunch until Damon moves back and he just starts rubbing his shoulder because the wall appears perfectly fine.
Damon crunched.
Yeah, that was he hit it with like a normal human level of strength. What is Eugene trying to do? Trying to dismantle the sarcophagi?
Push the lid off. Yeah.
They're like standing sarcophagi. I think I'm imagining them like Iron Maiden-esque, but I guess.
Oh.
I think that's what the shape is like intending to.
I think so too. It looks like they're vertically standing.
Convey. It doesn't say that
special outposts,
specifically, but yeah, that's what it looks like.
Either that or their sarcophagus is for tiny kittens.
You guys can take a 10 on strength checks. Anything that you're not under like extreme duress for, depending on how you're doing. But yeah, I would say Eugene's first attempt doesn't seem to go well.
Perhaps someone could give me a hand here.
Yeah. Oh, here, I can take care of it. Well, I am feeling kind of weird from the thing touching. I can try.
You'll be fine. I say, taking a couple extra steps back. Like,
Why? Breaks a finger.
Oh man.
I have strength 2 right now, which is part of.
I would say that you try to like pry this thing open, but you like just fucking slip and just like bust your ass. Not used to being temporarily weak as you are, so much of your strength having been so recently sapped away by the shadows.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna step back. I'll be ready if something attacks. And she like holds her sword ready, but.
Well, it's up to you. And I'll say, and I'll push Roymond forward with one long gray arm.
What do you? All right.
Don't let
you guys can try more than once.
Front fall on you.
These are strength checks. They're not knowledge checks.
I will assist.
Okay. Are you gonna assist Eugene this time, or?
I suppose.
Okay.
All right, let's try this again.
Okay.
Did memory start doing anything? Oh,
no.
No, I'm afraid not. This is impossible. I poked it with my finger twice and nothing has happened.
Your strength modifier looks wrong to me.
Well, he might be strength drained from.
Yeah, I don't know if you have strength damage. You probably do.
Yeah, I'm still strength.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
I don't know when
why.
that goes away.
That goes away after a long rest, basically.
Okay.
It's like
1 point.
You get like
per...
1 point per long rest back, something like that.
Okay, Roymond, how about
You guys can we can sell.
I'll lean into it, and I'm just going to take a 10.
Cardi sees them struggling with the sarcophagi and like walks over and says, "Looks like you're having a bit of a tissy with that. Let me." And I snap my fingers and cast open close on the sarcophagi.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Cardi, next time we go to town, we should hire a team of strong laborers, perhaps.
I'm strong.
Eugene, Blythe, and Roymond are all working together trying to pry the sarcophagi off, and they're just like, we can't open it. The thing must weigh 3 tons. And Cardi casts open close, and it exerts 6 pounds of force, and it just gently swings this open, the sarcophagi open, as if it was just a particularly strong breeze just kind of happened to blow it open. Inside, you find a desiccated corpse that is probably at this point half of it is probably crumbled to ash, and there is an ancient robe wrapped around the humanoid occupant, but it doesn't look like there's much of value in there. It looks like this guy was put in with very little but the clothes he had on his back, which are like 1,000+ years old.
Well, this
I'm-
is disappointing.
I'm pleasantly not surprised, actually. This is better than what it could have been based on the rest
What
of down
do I
here.
know about Thessalonian burial practices?
That's got to be
Or-
a history, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be a history.
Very little.
You're pretty sure they buried their dead.
Yeah.
Um,
I make note of it.
yeah,
I remain a little suspicious about the lack of really anything else in there.
yeah.
Seems a bit Spartan for a sarcophageal burial.
Doesn't seem like a nobleman, does it?
No, it actually looks like a lot of these robes look kind of ornate, or like they might once have been ornate. The parts that have not crumbled to dust through the eons.
Do we see any like discernible markings, features, or patterns on the robes?
Not on the
Anything that's
robes,
like-
but on the inside of the sarcophagi, like on the lid, you see there's a lot of like scratches, like claw marks.
God, they were buried alive.
Now that is
Or
more concerning.
or they were not alive when those scratches were made.
True.
Wait, do you think these were like more prisons?
What a horrible prison to be putting someone in.
Well,
Like,
they're not bound or anything, right?
I've heard
Yep.
stories of retainers and such being buried when their master dies.
I was thinking the same thing.
Roll me fresh intelligence checks, whoever would like to.
Also, I tried dealing damage to the cracked wall.
Oh yeah.
Did I
While
do
you
any-
guys are doing this, you're just hearing this rhythmic "Tush, tush, tush" in the
I'm, like-
background.
pointing out the crack to like help.
Yeah, and
right there, right. Ah, perfect.
while you guys are looking over and thinking about everything, Damon is just solidly smashing this wall to pieces, rather effectively. In fact,
It's like, I don't know how many more rolls you want me to do. I only did one.
I don't need more rolls. You're attacking an inanimate object. The AC is -10.
Eh.
You're always gonna hit it.
Unless you crit fail.
Cardi, as you're looking over this, you remember the quote from earlier, that the ghost of the force illusion thing was saying. As you guys are contemplating what happened in here, you think they might be linked.
Oh, I wonder if that guy in the other room, the one that's speaking on repeat, he's he did mention take my final work to your graves, and let its memory be the last thing you and well, these scratches and then these sarcophagi, perhaps these were his servants, or perhaps messengers meant to carry on his word into the afterlife. But perhaps they were
Perhaps.
alive when they were put in here, which might be why they were tormented spirits when we got into the room.
Roman, did you identify these things? I can't remember. The shadows? I would allow a fresh roll. If you
I
want
do not recall.
to take
I don't
another
think
shot.
Raymond rolled religion earlier.
Can't
for
imagine
holiday.
anybody else would have. He did, a 17.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Not
bad. Didn't see it.
Someone rolled well enough for me to know they were undead.
Yeah.
I turned on my buff.
I think I asked like one question or something.
You would have known that they were undead. You had asked I saw your roll. It's a 17. And it would be enough for you to know the very basics of the shadow creatures, which would be that they are generally spawned by people that died in some sort of turmoil. Can't give you anything more specific than that, but it would match the theory that you guys have put together, seeing these claw marks on the inside of these graves and knowing about this repeating message in the other room.
Well, guys, I made the crack bigger.
Oh, wow. Nice
Yeah,
job.
you guys look
Coming out
over,
of the crack.
and Damon has smashed a perfect square. It is perfectly flush. It is an excellent portal into the next room, or to the
I
into
say,
this,
David,
this hallway.
you've got a lovely crack.
Well, I scratched.
Cardi reaches up and like pats like his lower back because it's probably about as high as I can reach.
Yeah.
And I was like, wonderful, done. And then I proceed down the hallway, like kind of looking
Oh,
around.
Hardy,
what's down there.
did you want to open the others? And she gives you a big grin, like, we don't want to do it.
Did y'all want to open all the sarcophagi or just the ones that the shadow creatures came out of?
For the sake of completeness.
No, can
Very well. Cardi cast like open close.
Several times.
I guess several times on all the sarcophagi around the room.
As you open them up, you can see that this one, and this one, the ones that spawned the shadow creatures, all have the claw marks on the inside. But the desiccated remains of the humans in this like fine garb remain. The others don't seem to have the claw marks, as if they did not attempt to escape in any capacity. This one, as you open it up, you just hear some rustling from the inside, and as the door flies open.
Oh my god.
Is that who I think it is?
Wow.
A young man goes, I've been in there for so long. And he immediately just goes screaming out of the room.
Wow.
Off into the distance.
I throw
What
a
the hell
bomb.
is that?
Can I roll knowledge? Well, see, I don't have history.
Is there a knowledge Smitty? Can we add
roll
a
knowledge
Smitty in?
memes. Knowledge memes, maybe?
Well, okay, I'm gonna make an argument for knowledge planes because it happens through the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Didn't do
that.
very well.
Okay, you didn't do well enough, but that and the barcode on the back of this guy's neck were enough to hit you in. This is perhaps yet another of Cycle Mera's deranged clones that had gotten himself mixed into some sort of mischief.
I've heard a rumor of this crazy alchemist that, like, back when I was studying in my where was it? Where was I studying? Anyways, that's beside the point. The alchemist made thousands of clones for himself, and they had gotten mixed up in all sorts of different adventures, and even played with time magic at some point, and I think that might have been one of those.
Don't worry, you. Maybe when we actually get to daylight, sunlight, we can have a beer and talk about. Yeah.
A beer sounds good. Here,
may have heard some of these stories as well.
Cardi reaches into his sleeve and pulls out a flask and takes a swig and hands it to Damon to have a swig.
I had always thought those stories mere myth, but it's hard to deny the evidence of one's eyes.
He went streaking past wearing blue jeans, Converse sneakers, and a yellow shirt, like a yellow t-shirt. Very strange garb. You've never seen anything quite like it.
Very blue jeans?
What are jeans?
Not quite.
The fabled fabric of denim?
Denim.
Denim. I've heard it's really hard to make, but I've always
Created by the
Far
Archmage.
off America.
Created by the Archmage Levi Strauss. Okay, I'm done.
It's okay. I think
Um,
later in the campaign, I'm just gonna make jeans for everybody. There'll be magic jeans.
Yeah. The hallway
Magic
before
pants.
you appears ancient and dusty, sealed away as it's clearly been. And I think that give me perception checks. Anybody who is examining or listening at this dark hallway. Blythe, you can hear what sounds like the sound of like very minor water lapping, echoing down the chambers.
Every single. Oh, look at that double.
Damn.
Oh, Let me see here. I think that
You can
Damon
hear
and
that
Vanya.
water is
Mine's so
27
better.
degrees centigrade.
That is incredibly good hearing. Damon and Vanya, I think you guys also hear the water lapping and like a very minor click, but it's very, very quiet and very, very distant.
Like
Not
an organic sounding click, or like a
Mechanical.
mechanical sounding
doesn't.
click?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. It doesn't quite sound mechanical.
Okay.
But it sounds like it's near some water.
Is it like a rhythmic clicking, or is it like sporadic?
It's like click, 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 and that's it. That's like all that you picked up on.
Somebody's typing in there.
Somebody
Yeah.
you hear somebody on an old school vintage typewriter.
Click, 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 ching.
Does
Yeah.
this hallway like slope up or
It's
down?
sloping downward,
Okay, like the rest of the floor.
consistent with the rest of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
you hear that noise?
I'd say Damon and Vanya, you guys both would also piece together that you're probably near like the water table where you are.
Again.
We are quite low. We may come across some aquatic things that may have come up from below. There's no telling how low these ruins may go. There may be a large portion of it submerged that
More
aquatic
dark,
creatures could come in through.
more cold.
Did you all bring swimming gear?
I mean, I'm a dwarf. I don't really like the water, so I prefer not to swim unless I got to.
We're going to use you as an anchor, Cardi. It's fine.
I tend to sink to the bottom.
If anybody is an anchor, it's Roymond who's carrying 9 people's
ton
worth
of
of
stuff, yeah.
gear.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go first.
But you're
1 point of inspiration
Big.
to whoever goes first.
Zoo, I'm very you are the sort of the tank, so just keep that.
Vanya, a point of inspiration to you as
Nice,
you
Vanya.
step into the hallway and creep around the corners.
He is a
I
cowardly
step up
tank.
and I come to this area and I listen again to see if I can hear the sound. And it looks like from here with my glowing dagger, I can see that there are 2 passages.
Yes.
Can I determine which one the sound came from, or is if I can still hear it, can I tell if it's the one that's right in front of me or the one that's further down?
You can't hear it, but you could hear the water lapping that sounded like it was close to it from before.
Okay.
But you hear them roughly equal in both ears, maybe a little bit louder down this hallway.
Okay.
And at the end of this hallway, you can see a couple stairs leading downward.
Okay. Sounds like there's water down both of these passageways. I have my crossbow kind of nestled in the crook of my arm in one, and my dagger holding out like a torch above me. Step around and kind of peek around this second corner here. It looks like the tunnel turns off to the left up here. Well, to the right and then to the left.
Yes.
There's
You
a door
see,
down here.
yes, both of these stairs lead downward. One of them appears to lead into a small room, and you can just barely see the edges of a little bit of water in there. The other one, you can't quite peek down yet.
What do we say? Do we go down this first one, or do we go down this?
He pulls out a gold coin and flips it in the background, and then calls out.
Heads we go to the one closest to me, tails we go to this one right here.
It's tails.
We go down this one.
Your guys' party leader is a coin.
Yeah.
I love that that's like become the thing.
Our party leader is unbiased,
Yeah.
depending on the exact imprint
Perfectly
on the coin.
balanced. Two-Face would be proud.
Gotcha.
Well,
Yep. You proceed toward these stairs. Damon, as you round the corner, you see this small tide pool. No, go ahead. You briefly saw a small tide pool before you immediately ducked back behind the corner.
You saw a small Tide Pod. Immediately ingested it.
Water.
The sound of sloshing water fills this room, which has almost entirely collapsed into a large tide pool. What few walls do remain intact here bear detailed and impressive carvings of incredible treasuries, filled to overflowing with coins, gems, jewelry, and other items of value. To the east, the wall depicts a carving of a towering mountain, its peak carved in the shape of a stern face just above a great palace. Below, the side of the mountain's valley cradles an immense city of spires.
Ooh, I found the stuff you were looking for in the where the dead bodies were. This is where the treasure's at. And I point in the tide pool.
As you look down, actually, you see just in the water here, there appears to be a gleaming gold as the torch comes in. You see this like giant, like it looks like a 5-foot wide helmet made entirely of gold.
Wow.
And it's
Careful.
ruby. It is ruby and barnacle encrusted at this point.
Ew. You can see it.
that is-
Look at all the
Cover that.
sparkly shinies.
In the pool, what remains of what must have once been an incredible treasury lie in the sloshing waters. Shattered urns, crumbled stone chests, rusted bits of once beautiful armor and weapons, and other long-ruined treasures from an ancient past lie below. Most impressive of them all is a large coral-encrusted helmet, 5 feet wide. Its full face guard bears an expression of twisted rage and fangs. The helmet itself appears to be made of gold.
I'm not saying heavy. It'd be like
Very large. You
Considering
mentioned
how large it is and that it appears to be made of gold, you would guess incredibly heavy.
you mentioned like a mural on this eastern wall.
Yes.
Can we
To the east.
recognize the landscape from it?
Knowledge history.
Why is okay, 1 second. That's not working. I keep clicking stuff and getting Damon's things.
I know. I see that.
Oh fuck.
As you
Ooh,
guys sit there studying and studying this depiction and watching, you notice the water sloughs and churns bit by bit, and you get the impression that waves from the outside are probably causing these minor ripples and disturbances. And as you're looking, you see that this large gold helm starts to shift and turn.
Of course it does.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
could have predicted this?
Goodbye.
Completely unexpected outcome.
Oh, are we exploring the other place now?
Nope, things are moving. Not playing.
Oh, goblin attack formation? Yeah.
Eugene, do you want me to go in the water get
Cardi
you some
steps into the
stuff?
hallway as Blythe says goblin attack formation and says you should probably go up front then.
Oh, right. Is there room? I guess I could stand over Wyman.
Well, I know
I have a
Eugene.
spear.
Eugene wanted some. Or Eugene. Eugene wanted some stuff, and the stuff is in the water.
Well, I'm comfortable leaving it if we have to fight some 5-foot white head.
I mean, it's made of gold. It's a very soft metal.
So is it a head or is it just like a helmet? Or can we tell?
It's a half submerged giant golden helm.
Okay, because you described like a face, and I wasn't sure if you were referring to it.
That
or
is a
something on the
motif
mural.
on the helmet.
Oh, okay.
The dour
okay.
I
face.
think it has like a mask,
Right.
like it
Okay.
has like a face-like front to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't look at all like a Japanese helmet, but you know how the Japanese helmets have like the face mask like attached to it, kind of like that.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to know what's looking at us, you know.
Mhm.
Just so I'm clear. Not that I can see.
I
It seems
must
to
say,
just-
I don't love that helmet
Yeah.
Cardi like calls out to Ryan. Perhaps you should move behind, so that Goliath can sit and reach the water.
Or maybe we shouldn't fight in a tiny, tiny room.
We don't know that
Vanya,
it's anything to fight. Someone poke it.
Vanya, as you've been looking over, you are seeing the glimmerings and shimmerings of quite a bit of shiny objects below the water's surface.
Whatever we have going on here, it looks like it might be quite a haul. One of you poke the thing and see if it's malicious. Otherwise, let's see if we can scrape up some of this.
Ooh, Cardi, can you do your... And she waves her hands and kind of like trying to gesture a magic hand spell, but obviously not able to.
Anything particular in mind? Like, what would you like me to do? I can't pick up the giant helm.
Well, I mean, I can't see it. I just heard there was stuff, and I thought you have the magic-y stuff in the... Woo!
I mean, I do, but I don't know if I can get stuff from in the water onto... Like, I have this disc I can use, but it's useful for carrying things a long distance. It's not really good for picking them up.
Is there a rock nearby?
Oh.
Yeah, you can find some crumbled rubble or like an old
I throw
clay.
a rock into the water.
Okay.
I try to get it near the thing.
Okay. The rock splashes into the water, and as soon as it does, you see this giant helm just come like surging up out of the water, and as it does so,
it's a fucking crab.
You see a giant hermit crab that seems to have made this golden helmet, this giant golden helmet, its most recent home. Roll initiative.
Chris, what was that movie where there was this gigantic crab that was singing, and it was one of your... Yeah. Thank you. Oh, nice job.
I was gonna say Gangs of New York.
That is the thing that crabs will do, is they will adorn their... Like, hermit crabs specifically will try to adorn their shells with, like, shiny rocks to attract fish.
Good. Let's go with this one.
Ryan, I do have to request that this crab, if it talks, has a charming New Zealand accent.
A charming what?
New Zealand, like Moana.
I don't know if I can do that. I'd have to like listen to it a little bit first.
Kind of like Australian, but a bit on the higher end. It's
a bit on the high end.
A little bit cockney.
It's like Taika Waititi.
Have you seen the
Taika
fucking
Waititi,
the Flight of the Conchords video where they're explaining the difference between Australians and New Zealanders?
I have not.
No, but
They're
I want
like-
to now.
It's so
That
good.
sounds
He's
good.
like, no, it's totally different. They're like, where's the car? And we're like, where's the car?
Yeah.
At the car.
Luckily,
Got some cats.
Alright,
Like to go bungee jumping.
I already pulled out my lungs.
My-
Alright. It can't speak, but it will be thinking in a New Zealand accent. Just so that you guys know. I'm honoring this request.
Wait, that's totally wrong.
Let's see.
Remains nonplussed.
Yep. He has his candle, he's fine.
As you guys look, this water looks like it's probably like 2-ish feet deep, which would make it difficult terrain. We'll say.
It should be easily crossed.
Vanya.
Vanya.
Do you suppose we should just draw the crab out?
Does it? It looks hostile, I'm guessing. It looks like it's coming.
Yeah,
to fuck with
it came up,
Yeah.
and it seems to be very upset that something disturbed its waters, and now there are just a bunch of weird creatures in its home.
I'm gonna shoot my crossbow at it.
Okay.
And
Did you have your
see if I
crossbow
can-
out?
Yes.
Okay.
I had my dagger in one hand and I have my crossbow in the other, so I guess
Gotcha.
I probably dropped my dagger.
Okay.
I need to engineer a way to have my dagger where I can just have it out.
Right.
But attack light crossbow. Twang.
Eventually, your bab will be high enough that you can just. Your crossbow bolt flies forward, just pings harmlessly off the giant shell of this hermit crab.
Well, that's what I have.
That has just a few of its pincers in its head and just like the tops of its legs sticking out of the bottom of this helm, and it seems to be making this weird clicking noise with its pincers that you recognize from before, Blythe.
Okay. Blythe can't see anything and isn't sure what's going on. So I think, knowing that it's in the pool, she's going to try to see if she can skirt around it like we did with the Tentamort.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to use the right tool and move here, because that's as far as I can go.
Okay. Alright, maybe your token hadn't updated.
Or no.
Because you were right there on my screen.
Yeah, I can move twice. Actually, I'll just run, because then I can move further.
Yeah, I didn't see where you were. On my screen, you were at the top. You hadn't even gone down the stairs yet.
Oh, on my screen, I was catty corner with Sven.
Okay, I'm gonna trust... Yeah, that's where I had you.
You only have 20 feet of movement?
With armor, yeah.
Oh, boy.
That
With medium armor. Yep, that'll do it. Yeah.
So I'm assuming running, I can get here.
Yeah, I'll say yeah. I'm giving you 5 feet. I'm assuming you're taking the corners pretty aggressively.
Yeah, something's going on.
Yep. Yeah.
Danger.
You burst through the hallway on this side, and weirdly, you guys both noticed that there looked like there were doors there, but they're just open now. Maybe maybe the Psychomera clone that was here before just left all the rest of the doors open because you guys don't like them much.
How weird.
Conveniently amazing.
Yeah.
That's my turn.
Okay. So if you were running, that's just your move action.
Oh, I thought run was like a full round.
You can double move, which means you use your movement to walk and your standard to walk. If you run, you can move double the distance, but you take a penalty to AC.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that's
I
still
ran,
just
and I will draw out my longbow and ready an arrow.
Okay.
Unless I can do, I don't think I can do that and didn't have it ready. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Readying bow.
All right, you've got your longbow ready. Is the hermit crab's turn? It seems to have focused on the people on this end of the pool that it's got here, and it shambles toward you guys, clawing its way toward you through this muck with relative ease, apparently. And it moves up into range of Damon, who it spots just at the corner there, and attacks him with its giant pincers.
Mm-hmm.
It tries to grab you with both pincers. That is a 17 to hit and a 26 to hit.
Yep.
Wait.
What?
It doesn't have grab as part of its attack. Oh no, it does. Never mind. It does. Yeah. So it slices you with for 9 points of damage on the first one, 10 on the second, and grabs you in its pincers, right around the middle. And you feel an intense pressure. It starts to like squeeze. It's your turn.
Oh man!
What was the CMB? Like it gets a free grapple, but did it beat?
Oh no, that's a good point. Sorry. It's got to roll it.
Because Damon's
What's
CMB
your
is probably pretty high.
What's your CMD? Damon?
Okay, CMD. That's defense, right? That's where I find it.
Yep.
CMD. It's a 19.
It rolled a 32.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
So it grabs you and starts squeezing. It pincers one of your arms. Let's say the one that's not holding your sword, along with it. It's got like pinned down there. So you got one arm free, and these claws wrapped around your midsection.
Oh man, I've never been hugged this tight for a long while. And I'm gonna try to swing at it.
Okay, longsword. So it would be one-handed.
I'm sure this isn't the most recent time you've gotten crabs, though.
So
Oh wow.
it would be a one-handed attack because you're grappled.
Yeah.
So the
so
damage
what's
modifiers
that?
would be a little little lower there.
They do
Yeah,
-2 on the damage, I think.
that's probably right.
Strength is 4.
Yeah. So you just immediately like find the chink. You stab through the eye hole of the. Okay. You stab through the eye hole on this large helmet, and you feel your blade sink into some soft, sensitive flesh of this giant hermit crab. But you don't feel that you've successfully criticaled it.
Lunch will be here soon, guys. Ow.
Okay. Eugen enters Blood Rage.
Yeah,
I think-
I was just. Yeah, once the crab attacks Damon, he just starts.
Okay. It's not a free action to enter Blood Rage, I don't believe. So you can't do it out of turn.
Oh, okay.
Like once we're in combat, most things cost an action unless it's a free action, which you could just do whenever. But I think entering Blood Rage is probably a move action or something.
And free actions are fairly rare.
Yeah. Because of how good they are.
Okay, well, can I enter it now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you can. It's now your turn, so you can do it.
You can't do
And-
it on your turn or on somebody else's turn.
Can you?
No, I was making a joke. I said you can't do it
Oh.
on your turn or somebody else's turn.
Okay.
Actually, a blood rage.
Oh, it is a
you can
free
do it as a
reaction. Free action. Yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah. Never mind. You're able to enter it as a. That's bullshit. So you could literally do it in response to getting like a trap.
Man.
I mean, it makes sense. It's an emotion, you know. Just
Okay.
feel it.
Yeah. Free actions are very good. Okay, yeah, you entered Blood Rage as soon as this thing emerged, I guess.
It's supposed to be
Um,
like similar to the barbarian raid, right? And that one's also free, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
makes sense.
think so.
So
I just didn't
Yeah,
think it.
so-
I thought
It
it
is.
was. I thought it was like a move or something at least. Okay, your turn.
Nah, it's just a
Jen.
feeling I have. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dang, man.
I am going to try and stab it. So I can move here and then hit it, right?
Yep.
Right. Oh fuck. Move. And hold on, guys. I'm figuring it out. We're getting there.
Okay.
Worries.
Probably be under the attack. Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
Oh man. So Eugen launches into his Blood Rage and he steps forward and just swings his greatsword at this giant crab. And you guys all hear this like massive thunk as the thick greatsword slams into the side of this giant helmet, but it doesn't seem to have actually pierced it, even with such a mighty blow. And Eugen just has to like plant his foot against this helmet and like yank his sword back out of it, leaving a large nick in this gold armor. Roymond.
Since I'm still life-linked with Damon, he gains 5 hit points.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I take 5 damage. I am going to, I guess, poke at it.
Mhm.
Let me think here. Yeah. I'll give him the old pokey poke.
Okay.
Alright, well.
Likewise, you try to aim your spear for the eye hole of this giant armored shell, but it goes wide of the mark. Party.
yeah, I'm gonna walk into the room back here and look at this thing. And what would I roll to identify it?
Nature.
I got that one. Didn't roll very well.
It's a crab.
No, I'm afraid the DC is 15 plus DC or plus
Double
CR.
CR.
Yep. You're pretty sure it's a giant hermit crab.
Yeah. Cool. Can I actually don't know if I can do this. Can you use grease to help people with CMD?
Yeah. With
You
grapple?
absolutely can.
It's
Yes.
an object that's being held, so I
Increased
would think
armor
that you
clothing.
can.
Yes, cool. I'm going to cast grease on Damon's armor,
Okay.
which gives him a +10 on escape artist and combat maneuver checks to escape grapple, and +10 CMD to avoid being grappled.
That's very
Does that
good.
mean I slip out of my armor?
When you try to escape or break free, you can get +10 on that check.
It means your armor's all greasy. Sven.
Okay.
Sven's
I
turn.
imagine Sven would kind of creep up, following Blythe somewhat, but not
Uh-huh.
really engaging.
Yep. Okay. Vanya.
Anya, not great options where she's at. I think the most rational thing for her to do is still try to plink this thing with a crossbow and maybe get a lucky shot.
Uh-huh.
Not that that's not a good option, but it's,
Yeah.
it's the option that I have.
I think it's move to reload, right?
Yeah. Whoops. Sorry, I don't know why that went
Okay.
like 7 times.
We're gonna take your
it's-
first roll.
Yeah, it's a
'um,
21 or a 20, excuse me, a 20 if it hits and 2 damage. Which
Uh,
I'm sure that the gold helmet is immune to.
you manage, against all odds, to sink a crossbow bolt through the eye hole and once more into this flesh, and you see like a little sprinkle of blood spatter out of it as you hit it for 2 points of damage.
Well
Hooray!
struck, Vanya. Is
Yeah.
it blind now? How many freaking eye holes does a hermit crab have?
Very well done, Vanya. Very well.
Blythe.
Well, typically do.
Okay.
Oh.
How deep is this water again?
Looks like about 2 feet, probably, you'd guess.
Okay. I will kind of splash into the water over here, and then I want to roll to see if I can recognize anything about this thing.
Nature.
That's what I was going to do too.
You can do it freely.
Thank you.
Knowledge checks are free action.
What do I know about hermit crabs?
Oh, yeah. Blythe, you get 2 questions. Vanya gets like 3. I don't think there's enough you don't know about these things. Between the two of you, you guys know that that giant hermit crabs, very strong, very difficult to damage because they have the thick shells typically. Let's see. They like to grab things with their claws and constrict them to death. They're very territorial. Let's see. They're not likely to pursue you guys further than pretty close, like maybe 20 or maybe like 20 or 30 feet from what they regard as their lair. They're immune to mind affecting effects, and they have dark vision. That's pretty much it.
Guys, I think we can just leave it alone if we want, unless we want this loot. Is there like a whole bunch of loot at my feet?
Yes.
Okay. I will go ahead and release a shot then.
Okay.
Plus,
It's definitely
seasoned
worth
wipeout.
it.
Yeah.
You guys also know that they are dependent on water, which means that they will take penalties after 1 minute or more of time outside of the water.
See if we can drag it out onto land. It'll be a little easier then.
It's like 10 rounds of combat out of water.
It's a lot.
I don't think that's reasonable.
One of you have stone shape or something, perhaps, but other than that,
Can you try to grease the helmet?
good
Get
shot.
the helmet
Yeah,
off of it.
you're able to shoot it in the flank and pierce the carapace on one of its legs, Blythe, for 4 points.
Crab for dinner.
It is the hermit crab's turn, and it is going to maintain its grapple on Damon and constrict.
It has to roll CMD again. But
Oh yeah, you're right. Has to roll. It's going to try to maintain.
just in case it's an error.
It literally is a now one.
Yes.
Oh.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the as this grease comes pouring all out over Damon, this hermit crab gets terrific visions of one of its siblings, which it recalls was once fished up and served with butter in the past. And in its panic, it drops Damon. Is that its standard action to try to maintain the grapple?
I don't know for creatures that have grab.
Good question.
Well, they get to make a free grapple check as part of an attack with grab, but since it's just trying to maintain the grapple and fails, I think it probably...
they have constrict too. I think constrict gives them a free, well, maybe not.
I don't think it does. Constrict just means that while they maintain the grapple, they get to freely damage the target.
If he had succeeded in maintaining, then he could have constricted.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Then yes, he would have failed.
Yeah, he failed. He failed and drops him. And scuttles over to the side to seem to be looking at you, Jin. Damon.
Ooh, so now I can do hands, right?
Yes.
I just created my macro for a one-handed. Okay.
Sorry, I can have it.
No, you're
again
good.
If you want.
You're good. No, I'm ready for the future now. Awesome. I've never been so well lubricated. And then I'm going.
Everybody else make a will save, I guess, because of what Damon just said. Oh my god, you're just rolling nothing but crit threats. You stab it again. You come up swinging. Just butter and blood just spraying off of you like a shampoo commercial or some shit. As you swing your longsword into this thing, but you fail to confirm a crit, but you still hit it for 9 points, and it kind of scuttles back from you, and you hear this like little insectoid shriek in a New Zealand accent. You did.
Well struck, Damon. I'm gonna try and do this again.
All right.
Dang it, I should have been ready to do it when I said that. Mother.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh.
Take that, you
boy.
bastard.
All right. All jealous of the damage that Damon has just done. You step 1 foot in the water, but not enough to actually really be in it, and you just fully jam your entire greatsword through the eye hole of this helmet. 19 points, fucking A. And all at once,
Helmet lobotomy.
all at once, this creature seems to be scuttling backward, terribly afraid as it lets this burbling shriek up out of the water. Royman.
I feel kind of bad.
And one of the little pincers comes out of the water, and it's holding an old time photograph of what you assume is the hermit crab and its wife and 2 kids.
You're a hermit. We know better.
Well, excellent sense motive check from Blythe can tell this creature is in fact a hermit. It keeps that photo of it for occasions just such as this.
Oh, Damon, are you missing 5 health?
Mm-hmm.
You'll get healed for 5. I think that I will try to attack again.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like he's. Well, is he retreating?
It seems like it kind of wants to.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna poke him.
Okay.
He's retreating, so yeah, I'll go ahead and stab.
Since you are on the eastern side, you get the +1 bonus to your attack rolls, and you're able to stab this thing in a part of its flesh, and it 2 points of damage. Not a lot, but this thing looks like it is definitely into retreating and fleeing now, albeit with the giant ass gold helmet on its back still. Cardi.
Part of me wants to identify the helmet. Part of me wants to save Eugene. So Cardi says, Hold on there, Hugh. I think I can help you out in the same way that I helped Damon. And then I cast Grease on Eugene's armor as well, so he has a
Okay.
+10 circumstance bonus on the CMD check.
Can you target just his armor?
Yes,
Okay.
I can target
Yeah.
as long as like he's willing.
I roll a little bit of it.
If it was like I can't target like an enemy creatures because then they would be
Yeah.
resistant.
I know you can target their weapon, so I guess it does make
Right.
sense that you can target their
Yeah,
armor.
it specifically does say a creature wearing greased armor or clothing gains.
Right. Okay, cool. So it is Sven's turn. I'm gonna assume he's hanging back.
Yep.
Vanya.
Anya will once again do what little she can do.
You know,
And
When-
load and twang.
when only a little is required. What is that to hit? You get the if you include the plus
so it's
one.
19. 19 with point blank, and then if the does the rate the incline benefit
I think
range
that's
attack
only.
or just
I think
melee?
that's only melee.
Oh
Actually.
yeah, then it would
Yeah.
be a 19.
Yeah. It goes pinging harmlessly off the side. Blythe.
All right. Seeing it retreating though, Blythe will be like, "Well, you started this. We'll try and finish it off."
Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Maybe.
Eventually. She
Sure.
takes out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and you sink an arrow into one of its crabby toes, but it appears to be all that was holding this creature on to its mortal coil,
Ah, yes, the Achilles toe.
and it finally dies and
Arthropod's toe.
collapses onto the side, leaving some kind of blood-stained water slowly churning,
Mm,
and quite a bit of treasure.
Nerd.
Filled with gold and rubies.
Cardi approaches the crab and looks at the helmet more closely.
Are you drowning?
I'm.
like
That's
2 feet of
that's a
water.
legitimately good question. Actually, let me double check and make sure that
You're up
I
to
am
your
over 2
chest.
feet
You're like
tall.
4 feet.
You're like at least 4. Dwarves are usually like
Yeah.
5 feet.
Yeah, I'm
Are
pretty
they?
sure
Okay.
I'm,
Like
yeah.
between 4 and 5.
Yeah, somewhere between there. So
I mean,
2
if
feet
you're
of
not
Or a
water.
little
No.
bit shorter.
Yeah,
I
I am
am
not a
4
dwarf.
foot 2. So yeah,
have not
I'm
yet
up to my
evolved.
chest.
Glad you caught that.
I mean, Royman might not be. I don't Royman like because halflings are much shorter.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's like 2
3/5
feet of
sling.
water. None of you guys are like tiny creatures. You can step into this without.
I was
Hey, you
thinking
can
like
drown in
Raymond
very
said.
little water.
I mean, that's true.
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure
I-
Roman's 4 feet.
Okay,
I lied.
I was thinking-
He's 3'1".
that's what I
Okay, cool.
thought.
Oh.
I
I
think
was
I'm
like,
taller than you, right? I'm only 4'2".
Yep.
Yeah, I look at the helmet and I detect magic on it and see if it's magical. And if it is, I guess I will attempt to identify it.
Sure, I know here. You detect magic, but not on the helm. Which
Crab
appears
magic.
to be normal, but you do get a faint aura around an amulet in the water.
I pick up the amulet and try to identify the amulet. I will take a 10. It's a 23, 24 if I get assistance from Vanya.
I will assist.
I'll
That
cast
ought-
guidance on everybody.
That ought
25.
to be plenty to identify a jade amulet of natural armor +1.
Cool.
ooh.
Smexy.
Who needs an amulet of natural armor +1? One of you frontliner people.
Literally everyone.
Probably all of you.
Well, all of us need it,
I have
but one of the
something.
frontliners should take it if they don't have an amulet.
Yeah.
Don't.
I don't remember what I have.
I have no armor and get quite easy to hit when I'm big.
Yeah, I think Eugene
Provides me with natural
probably.
armor.
I think if anybody, Eugene should get it.
Okay.
I hand it over to Eugen, saying, "Welcome to the party, friend. Why don't you?" I reach into the water and pull out the amulet and say, "I think this might be a bit of a boon to you since you're not wearing any big armor."
I feel like when
He
you're
is
handing
wearing armor, by the
And
way.
his armor's like not that great. His AC is like what, 13 or something.
It's like chainmail. His
feel
AC
like-
goes down when he's enormous. When he goes Hulk mode, he's just very easy to
with
hit.
blood rage and increased size, then
He has mountain pattern armor, which is like medium.
Yeah,
It's not-
that's pretty
not-
good.
Not bad.
I feel like when you're handing that over to Eugen, he's just like scooping. He's like bent over, scooping up all the things. All
He's
the
like,
shiny
you know, I
things
can
in the
really
water.
use that.
Yeah,
Yep, that too.
that's what I'm imagining.
But yeah, if that's the only magical thing I find, do we find like mundane weapons or anything, or is it mostly just gold?
It looks like most of the weapons and other fineries in here seem to have rusted through to the point where they're probably not worth much. But you do find quite. It looks like this was like a treasure hoard at some point. And you find 3,500 silver pieces, 630 gold pieces, and 40 precious stones, which you can appraise.
I will appraise, but can you type out how much gold, silver we found? Because
I
you
can.
said that really fast, and I didn't write it down fast enough.
I can. I'm already doing so.
What's your
My-
appraise?
My appraise is 8. What is?
Mine's a 10.
Okay, I will assist Vanya.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I think with a 20, Vanya, or 20 plus, Vanya, you're familiar enough with these stones to know that they'd probably be worth about 10 gold apiece.
Oh. Yes, it looks like each of these could fetch 10 gold or so.
It's like 400. What? Damn.
None of that is counting this this massive, mostly gold, as you're able to inspect it more clearly. 300-pound giant helmet.
I look at Royman. Royman, you can carry, right?
I mean, maybe.
Perhaps your disc would be able to support the weight.
I think my disc will do just fine.
How much
How-
weight
how-
can it?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
What
all.
is-
Mm-hmm.
what is it called in Pathfinder? It's not tensors, floating disk.
I
or
think it's just
Pathfinder.
floating disc.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think
it
you're
is
right.
just floating disk.
Is it worth the wet socks?
It's made of solid gold. Like,
I
what the
think
fuck?
it is.
Of course,
As
it
you
is.
inspect it more clearly, you can see that it's not actually made of solid gold. Some of it is bronze, but you still think it's worth quite a bit.
Mhm.
It's mostly gold.
Cardi says, I'm not sure if my disc can do the entire. It's how much? 350?
It's 300 pounds.
Oh, 300. Then yes, I'm good. My disc can hold exactly 300 pounds.
Okay.
Actually, it's 301 pounds.
We'll chop off a bit that equals 1 pound and throw it
Yeah.
in the water.
We'll have Damon lift up on one end the whole way.
I was
to
gonna
town.
say one of you just has to like put a finger under one end, like keep
I'm
it.
sure we could pry a few rubies out and just carry them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on this helmet, the way it looks, does this look like it was meant to actually like fit on a creature, or is this sort of like something that would go on a statue, or as like a piece of art, or does this look like a giant not only would be able to, but is meant to have put this on their head? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it looks like a ceremonial or very fine piece of armor that perhaps a giant could have actually worn.
Okay, it would actually be wearable. It's not just a decoration.
Correct.
Okay.
But,
Looks like
but
it's
you're saying
the
it's
actual.
wearable but not meant for battle.
Right. Yeah.
Well, perhaps
Maybe.
I'm not.
I mean, it's
I
bronze.
actually didn't fully prepare to see like. I mean, it's bronze with gold.
Neither
like-
of which are particularly effective metals for
Not really,
personal
but
protection.
I think you know enough about Thessalonian culture that you would recall that this place is thousands of years old.
Yeah.
So probably metallurgy has come quite a ways since this was
It's possible.
originally created.
And also, if it's a giant, it's like fighting, most other things. It's going to be out of head reach. So
Yeah.
Alleged.
Cardi looks up and says, "Let's get it out of the water real quick." And but I don't think I should be using the disc to bring it home until we're ready to leave. I think I only have enough magic in me to get it home when we're ready.
Yeah, I think we could carry it to the stairs at least and leave it there till
Can we
we're...
go home now? I don't like being.
Yeah. Do we think? I mean, at least from what I see on the map, we've explored everywhere. Unless there's
yeah.
something on another level that I think that we missed, but I don't think we did.
You guys believe you have checked every passage, and explored every room in the Thistletop Fortress.
Suddenly, it seems like time to go buy some wine.
I could use with some more spirits.
Very successful first sojourn for Eugene.
Yeah, he fucking carried us for some of it.
Well, he did take quite a bit of punishment from Malfeshnikor.
I did nearly die.
Yeah.
But you didn't
Fair
actually collapse yet, and you're ahead of some of us.
There's only one thing. Does the floating disc allow you to like create it under an immensely heavy object?
Oh,
We can lift
We'll
it.
have to, we'll have to get it out of the
onto
water
it.
first, I would think. Because you would also be lifting all the water that is.
Yeah,
Right.
like we
In
decided that we
theory.
were gonna get it out of the water. Before.
I mean, it's on the hermit crab right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is the issue?
imagine a
Between-
massive feast that
Between
we
all of
bring
us,
into
we
the
could definitely
town.
lift it out of the water. Like,
Think
Yeah,
so?
300
Or
pounds.
I
Unless-
imagine
do we all
Yeah,
roll
I lift
strength?
600.
Yeah.
we can clean
So-
the crab out of there.
Right.
We can both lift 600 on our own. I think we'll be okay.
Oh.
Alright.
Oh.
Yeah,
Then you
every one
guys.
of
Yeah.
them's strength. Like, I mean, think about it. Like Damon, Blythe, and I'm fairly certain Eugene all have strength scores of 18, which are the same as
Yep.
Flea and Havelock. Like,
Right. Yeah. Minotaur level strength. Well, you
Our-
guys
our
say
guy-
that they all struggled to open a sarcophagi earlier in the evening.
Yeah.
So
I have strength drain. Okay,
yeah.
thanks.
I think all of your strength people do, except maybe Damon. In any case, you guys are able to
Take tens. Oh
so-
my god, stop rolling
yeah,
threes.
just take
Like,
just take 10. You can
take
Okay.
10.
we
Yeah.
haven't
Taking
Matt,
a 10.
we haven't really discussed take 10 and take 20 yet. The
I read
assumption
about
is
it.
okay.
Read about it. I'm
Okay.
good.
Gotcha. Okay, so taking a 10, you guys would be at
Mine's 14 then.
like
I take
14
it.
or whatever. But if you're all working together, you're able to hoist this giant golden helm off of this hermit crab, and the corpse of which just comes like sloughing out of it, leaking blood from the wounds it's incurred, and collapses into the water. And you're able to just straining with every muscle in your body get it to land on this disc, which seems to like almost like creak in a complaining manner that you have completely loaded it down to its maximum capacity with exactly one item. But it,
We are at
well,
capacity.
before I
Yeah.
make my disc, Cardi's like consulting his spellbook and using I use one of my other points to swap out another spell.
okay.
Because I need to get floating disc, and yeah, then I cast floating disc and lower it down to the ground so that
Yeah.
they can lift this giant
Yeah.
helm onto
Vanya
it.
stays
It-
well back as the weakest person in the party.
The floating disc floats exactly one molecule off the ground
That's all it needs. Unless we hit a rock.
with this giant thing.
I hope
But
the path is clear.
I think that between all of you, you'd be able to lift the disc to go up the stairs and whatnot, and maneuver this thing. But it is like all of your worst helping your friend move in problem at the same time, because
Pivot!
this thing is about as wide as the hallways you're moving through.
I think
But-
Blythe will also collect the crab parts that Damon hasn't, if there are any left.
Yeah,
for food.
I've broken off one crab claw and then one leg because I'm assuming this creature is pretty big.
It's 450 pounds.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
more than that's like a small cow sized.
yeah. Damon is ready to see the sunlight and cook it over the fire. Oh yes.
That
Okay.
sounds delicious.
Yeah, as we load the helm onto the disc, I say, let's make haste to get back to Sandpoint. I don't think I have enough magic to get us there if we dilly dally too much. So Cardi kind of like starts moving back through the hallways at a pretty decent pace.
So much for
'Cause I
helmet
have
suit.
about 6 hours of floating disc.
How? Yeah, that was going to be my question. Because you won't. I don't know how fast it moves. But it's only like a
It
2
moves.
to 3
It
hour
stays
ride.
within. Yeah, it stays within 5 feet of me at all times. It doesn't mention a speed.
Okay. I'm just gonna say that it works.
Yeah, as long as
for
I
this
don't. I think
purpose.
as long as I don't run, it's basically
Right.
it moves at normal speed. So.
Okay. Then I'm gonna assume that a trot on a horse, like a normal moving speed on a horse, is not gonna outpace this thing's movement speed, and it's able to float behind you, creaking and groaning periodically. But you guys are able to get out of Thistletop, get back on your horses, and ride back to Sandpoint.
Good to be
Yeah,
out.
first stop, blacksmith.
I think Blythe is heading straight to the inn bar, whatever it's called, with a bag full of raw crab for
Same.
Amico.
Same.
Yeah, I think me and Vanya go to the blacksmith with this giant helm.
Yep. Vanya at
Um,
some point shifts out of her mutated form back into normal form.
What is?
Okay.
And yeah, how much do we think this helm is worth? Because you said it's.
Roll appraise, I guess.
Yeah, I will assist again on that.
Looks
since
like
Vanya
it's
has
worth
better appraise.
worth quite a bit.
Woo! Nice.
Really good appraise.
Oh yeah, Vanya, you think you do like a careful analysis, and you're so familiar with like testing like heavy metals and shit like that. You're able to kind of ascertain just how much of each quantity of bronze and gold it is, and you know that this thing, even sold just for spare parts, you could get like 3,000 gold for it. 3,000 gold pieces.
The 3,000 gold, but before we give it away, perhaps we should have Brodert look at it to see if he can learn anything useful from it.
Well, why
Okay,
don't
quick out of character question. How do I get my little marker to show up on the map?
Oh, my bad. I have to drag your token out. I haven't. Actually, you
Oh.
can do it. Just go to the journal tab in Roll20, and grab your guy and just drag him onto the map.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, Cardi sends Vanya. Why don't you go get Brodert and bring him here to the blacksmith, and I'll keep an eye on it here, and then once he's examined it and taken his notes, then we can sell it. I don't think I have enough magic to
Perhaps
have him.
he may even want to buy it from us if he has such funding.
Yeah,
Anyway, I will go
same.
attempt to retrieve him.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess I go towards the blacksmith, which I'm assuming somewhere on Main Street, probably.
I forgot where the inn was.
The inn is
It's near the glassworks, isn't it?
Near Crab
The
Street.
inn is here
Oh,
Market.
on Market Street.
so almost completely not what I said.
Yeah. The blacksmith, I think, is maybe here. Oh no, I'm sorry. The blacksmith.
I'd like to imagine they're just roaming up and down the streets with this giant helmet.
So Sava's Armory is here. That's the place that sells like weapons and things like that. The blacksmith. I'm not sure if you guys have talked to an actual blacksmith yet. Or it could be that I've forgotten completely. There's a
I don't
jeweler
think we have.
who might be interested.
Actually, yeah, we'd probably go.
Test.
I'd probably go to the because Cardi is familiar with the town, but Ryan isn't. So, Ryan
Mhm.
Walker isn't. So I would probably go to the jeweler because this is a large quantity of bronze and gold, and it's
Yeah,
not going to be
precious
used for
metals.
actual armor. It's just precious
Right.
metal, like raw precious metal.
Jeweler's probably got more money.
Mm.
Yeah, and could probably turn that into yeah. As you approach, let's see, the jeweler is. Wow, I just had it, and then oh yeah, 5. Okay, Maver Kesk. That is here near the
Cool.
cathedral. And as you walk up to it, you see this like large neon sign blinking gold for gold.
So, oh my god, just so accurate. Just
Magic
exactly,
neon.
exactly what I expected. I'm probably familiar with the jeweler, like as a fellow craftsman in town. Like,
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
It fucking hates you.
I made the sign. It's literally like flashing with like magic lights.
As you walk in, you see the dour Maver, or the dour Maver Kesk, and a few local toughs that hang out as guards. But seeing you, they recognize you and give you a nod. And Panay Kesk, his wife, greets you warmly and says, Cardi, one of our local heroes. What can I do for you?
Oh my god, don't call me a hero. I'm just trying to do my best to keep my town safe. But we were out at Thistletop, and we were exploring the dungeons that were beneath it, and we found this huge helm. Look at this thing. It's like mostly bronze and gold, and Vanya's gone to go and get Brodert to see if he wants to investigate it. But if not, we're hoping you might want to, scrap it for some of the precious metals that it's got.
Penne walks out and takes a look at it, and she goes, "Oh my goodness!" And you can just see like gold peace signs like in her eyeballs, and she's like, "Yes, I think that my husband and I would be willing to make you an offer." And you can just hear her whispering, like, "My gosh, with this much gold, we could flip that and turn it within the year. Let's say, carry the 0, carry the 1. Yes, of course. Be happy to offer you 3,000 pieces. Let me just grab it." And she turns around to go back in. She says, "Let me just open the safe and grab it." But you see, as soon as she walks in, like the safe is just like wide open, and she just like face palms and just goes, "Maver, did you leave the safe open again?" You just hear like a call from the other room. "Oh yes, dear. I needed to grab a few pieces out."
What's Maver and what is her name?
Maver and Penne.
Penne. I say Penne. Penne. Let's wait a little bit. Vanya's gone to go and fetch Brodart. He might also be interested in it as like a priceless artifact, and if he is, I think, because it is of ancient Thessalonian make, like.
Which point of order have we checked this for like magic?
Yes,
You did.
It was.
Yeah.
It was
Alright.
mundane.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
That's
You're
okay.
good. I just didn't have enough magic to bring it all the way to him and then all the way back, and I'm a little dwarf. I can't carry it. It's very large, as you can see.
Certainly. So what are you going to give him an offer? I assure you, 3,000 is a more than fair price.
Well, we're just gonna have him take a look at it, and if he wanted to offer us more,
What was our
we
appraisal price for it?
3,000. I think was what we appraised it at.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys had determined that was roughly that was what it's worth.
Yeah.
You think that's a fair price? That's what anybody
Yeah.
would.
And I say, Penny, I agree with you. It's definitely a fair price for the metals alone, but I mean, it has possible historical value to Brodert, so I wouldn't
Yes. I certainly value historical value, but I also value, which this thing really is. Very well. Perhaps if you promise to sell it to us, we could let Brodert do a thorough examination on it before we melt it down and start making it rain in this bitch.
Well, I don't mind parting with it for you, if you would agree to let Brodert, investigate it before you do anything to it.
Of course. It's
but-
going to take us weeks to melt all this down.
Perhaps
He'll
he
have-
might even
he'll
make you an offer that you can't refuse for its value.
I highly doubt that, but
I
very
doubt
well,
it too.
very
He's
well,
not
very
a
well.
very rich man, but I would feel very bad to just, melt down ancient Thessalonian.
unless, of
armor.
course, you were willing to pay for.
No.
Willing to what?
Unless, of course, you were willing to pay 4,000.
4,000.
Make a diplomacy check, I think. For that.
I love you, Jin. Having you in the party is gonna be great.
All right.
That's a good diplomacy roll.
That's a good diplomacy roll, and Panay looks to you, and she, as you would typically think, one would be upset about trying to haggle in that way. She says, "I'm afraid 3,000 is as high as we will go." And just wait. All right, you're starting at 4,000. I started at 3. I know how this works. 3,001. How's that sound?
Oh, that is not at all how this works. What if I agree though? We can meet in the middle. Perhaps 3,909.
Very well. All right, we've got the next 12 sessions of Pathfinder figured out. 3,002, dear. 3,002 silver pieces. I mean gold pieces.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I was about to
I
say,
can
we're
guess
losing
what
value quick.
Yes.
Sell.
No, I'm afraid at this rate, dear, I think that inflation is going to catch up with us, if you understand. So I can keep going up 1 gold piece all day, but I'm afraid that's as good as we can do. Otherwise, that's going to take
up to what we want.
it's going to take all of our liquid capital as it is.
I understand. It is that Vanya was telling me. I mean, you know how Vanya is with her sciencey stuff. I don't really
Certainly,
get it myself. I'm really good
Well,
at the magics, but
with this kind of payout, I'm sure you'll all be well funded to engage in whatever experiments it is, unless you're all still going about adventuring.
well,
But I'm assuming that you've
seems-
wrapped up that for now.
I never saw myself as an adventurer. I've always saw myself as setting one down like you and maybe opening a shop and selling my wares. But
I highly recommend you setting up shop if in a different town if you're going to be doing jewelry business.
I would be doing the magical arms and armor. Don't you worry, your pretty little self. But I
Okay.
would, if you don't mind, I might come back and learn to craft rings from you someday. You are the finest ring crafter I've ever met.
Well, I'm not so great in terms of magical things, but no one makes a finer ring, and I can certainly show you our ways.
But
Especially if you sell all that to us. That is my retirement.
Cardi just like lets out like a really deep laugh and kind of like throws her head back and is like, "Well, here, why don't you just you agree to let brother investigate it before you do any melting down or chopping off of any pieces, and I am more than happy to sell it to you for the 3,000 that you mentioned."
Very well. It's a deal then. And she extends her hand to you.
Yeah, and I at that I think Tensor's or the floating disc sort of like runs out and it drops on the ground.
As soon as your skin touches hers, she goes, "No take backsies! No take backsies! That's legally binding in Sandpoint. Look up the town charter."
And a 350-pound or 300-pound gold bronze helm drops 3 feet from the air onto the floor of her.
Yeah,
leaving
you
a small
hear
crater.
a loud crunch as this 300-pound helmet sinks into the wood, and she goes, "Well, I suppose that pretty soon we'll have enough coin to get that repaired. It does seem to be like right in the doorway, which is a little unfortunate."
No, I didn't put it in the doorway. It was
Okay.
like in like the main area.
Gotcha. Okay. But I
I-
suppose we can all walk around it. Perhaps I'll throw some cloth over it and make it into some sort of oblong table of some sort. In any case, I'm certain you all have more business to take care of.
We're heading off to the tavern, and Brodert should be around shortly. Vanya went to go tell him that it's here.
Very well. Well, I can hand you the gold now, or we can keep it in our safe. I can't vouch for my husband, who
Perpetually leaves the safe open.
Given the safety of the safe, and your husband's knack for leaving it open, I think I'd rather it in my hand.
Very well then. And she gathers she just like fills her arms up to like bursting with these 3,000 gold pieces and gives them to you.
Cool. And yeah, me and you go to the tavern.
Okay.
I didn't know if there were going to be thieves, but I'd stick with you. You just got attacked.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Is it like Baltimore?
Sandpoint is a little safer than Baltimore,
Okay.
except for the
That's-
goblins.
Probably.
Goblins
We
are
killed
concerned
them
in both
all.
places.
The goblins are Baltimore. Like they are the
That's the native
Um,
population.
Yeah.
So, splitting up the gold from the treasure trove and selling the helm, and converting all the silver to gold, and what we already had in our coffers, which actually I guess we only had 1 gold in our coffer. Never mind. Everyone gets 876 gold.
Did we sell the precious stones too, or were those like special magic-y stuff?
Yes, that includes the precious stones.
Wait, okay? That you can sell the precious stones as well. 3,000 was just for the helmet itself.
Yeah. I have 630 gold pieces, 3,500 silver pieces, 400 gold from
Right.
the precious stones,
Okay.
and then 3,000 gold from the helm.
Cool.
What was the number?
876 for every individual person.
Nice.
I like numbers because it's 678 or 876.
876.
5,
Okay.
4,
3,
2.
1. Bye-bye!
Very well. I would encourage you guys to look at downtime, the downtime rules, because you guys have finished the first chapter. Finally, put the final nail in the coffin of Rise of the Runelords.
Actually, if I recall, we opened a bunch of coffins.
but
Yeah, about how much downtime do we have? Because there's this evocation ring and a silver coffer that we didn't identify successfully.
I think that it would take some sort of divination magic to know how much downtime you have.
Fair enough.
I think that at this point, you guys have settled all of the dangers surrounding Sandpoint.
Cool.
So you can take some time off. If you've got plans for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, probably anything under a month, that you want to take care of, it's probably a good time for that.
Find a whorehouse.
We're still level 3.
That's what he spends all his time on.
You guys have been level 4.
Oh, level 4. Sorry, yes, level 4.
Um,
wow.
you
Okay. So
you
my
feel that you're
disc,
close to level 5.
my disc health's 400 pounds, so that
Oh,
whole thing.
that would have
And it
been
also lasted for 8 hours, so that was also not
Okay.
annoying.
well.
I
Let's just keep
forgot that I was
it
level 4.
You still had a level 3. You got hit so hard by Malfection Core that you forgot your level 4 floating disc.
There.
Yep.
There's a lot of crab left in there to be scrubbed out, so
Vanya, are you at the bar or are you?
I went and got Brodert and brought him over
Gotcha. Okay, let's go.
there. So I, dragged him over there, assuming that he wanted to go, and then went back to the bar with everybody.
Let's see. Where do we have Brodert?
Let's see. I think somewhere I've got a list of magical items I want to make. So for everybody else, while Ryan's figuring that out, I can craft wondrous items. So I can't make your armor magical yet and stuff like that, or weapons. But if there is a item that you want crafted, that is a wondrous item that goes in any of the other slots, I can make pretty much anything. Assuming just let me know if it's something you want, and it would cost half as much to make craft.
I have a number of things on the list.
Yeah,
So,
so figure
Yeah.
out sort of like what you want to do with the gold that we just got. I know that I have like 1,000 something that I want to spend, so
Mhm.
Gotta be like a golden
Broder
string.
Quink soon arrives into the Rusty Dragon with Vanya. He seems a little bit discombobulated because he doesn't usually leave his study, which you guys had probably been able to surmise. Let me bring Vanya out. I don't know.
Their strength damage would heal, right?
When
Vanya's
you take a long rest,
stable.
it will. But yeah, over the period of over a rest period, you certainly would.
Right. Well, I have lesser restorations. Like I could fix it too.
Yeah, you could take care of that in like what, a day, then
Yeah.
with lesser restoration. And you might have even be able to find Father Xanthus, and he might be able to help as well. But I think he'd be well within your abilities to take care of it. So Broderick Quink comes in and he says, Vanya and I just went and took a look at this helm you all have dropped off. Unless you want to go do that, Vanya.
No, that's fine. I imagine Vanya's interaction with him was, we found a giant helm that bears Thessalonian markings. Come with me.
I mean,
And
that's
that
my
was-
assumption. He's just-
Who is
straight to the
this?
point, Vanya. This is what-
Uncle Roshi looking motherfucker.
Who's that?
Or maybe
Oh.
I'm misremembering the character.
No, that's
from-
him. That's always been
Yeah.
him. Yeah,
I don't think I'd ever seen his actual character, but he
yeah, I
looks
don't
like
think we saw his
Dragon
token
Ball Z.
before. It's
yeah,
like-
yeah. He walks in, and as soon as he sees Shayla's Vinder in the corner, blood just comes shooting out of his nose. But he just says, "Yes, I got to take a good look at it. It seems quite interesting. Certainly ancient Thessalonian in its making. You can tell that through some of the motifs. I've seen illustrations that looked quite similar. Although I didn't recognize. Of course, it seems quite large to be for the typical Thessalonian sorts. Being on a giant helm like this is a bit odd. There are legends and things that speak of giants existing in Zinshalas, but I don't believe that place actually exists.
Zinshalas? I'm sorry, I'm
Zinshalas.
not very familiar with history.
Yes, it's like Atlantis or one of these places. It's a mythical locale. Perhaps this was created more as a gift or a jest or some sort of magical freak accident of some kind. I was very pleased to be able to take detailed notes on it. But
It's quite the specimen.
was quite the specimen. Is there anything specific that you wish to know?
Have you ever heard of an ancient king in this area, Thessalonian variety? And we would tell him about the Mirage King.
The Mirage Man.
Yeah.
He strokes his chin and he says, Thessalonian kings. I'm not certain the Thessalonians even had anything you would call a king per se. Their civilization, I believe, was destroyed before they had perhaps gotten to that point. They were, in many ways, somewhat barbaric as people. They had figures of great renown, but unfortunately, we haven't been able to discern precisely what they were. I suppose you could call them kings, rulers of a kind, but information on them is quite scanty. What we essentially know is that they must have had rulers. They would have had to have had them, considering the sorts of societies they built. Apart from depictions, we weren't able to piece together more than that about what these fantastic characters might have been like.
Artie reaches into one of his notebooks and pulls out sort of a sketch of the statues and the hologram looking man, and then also the quote that he was saying on repeat, and hands it to Broder and says, well, the one that we saw in the ruins under the Thistletop was this man here, and he points out like one of the pictures. And he kept saying this on sort of like a loop. It's like it was finishing a thought, but it just kept going and going and going.
Ooh, sorry.
Let me refresh myself. Eugen just starts flexing in the background, like, yeah, check this shit out.
Trying to figure out how to get this
I'm
goddamn
ready to
thing
get the
out.
Dragon Balls.
Check out these guns. My dear lord, sir, you're ready to learn the ancient Roshi technique
Yo,
of
it
Kamehameha. Okay, let me find that quote to refresh myself to see how it would apply to him.
Is upon us, but I command you remain, witness my power, how Elasmus' petty wrath is but a flash compared to my strength. Take my final work to your graves, and let its memory be the last thing you... and I can copy-paste it.
So you sort of fill him in on on the gist of that. And he says, I wonder... It says the end is coming. Something like that?
I don't think he said the end is coming, but like the final work.
He says, blank is upon us, but I command you remain. It sounds like he was fighting, had some sort of confrontation with Elasnist. Her petty wrath is but a flash compared to my strength. Perhaps this Elasnist was going to invade that area or something like that, or perhaps another cataclysm of some sort.
If I recall, the Elasnist that he mentioned, we saw that mentioned on the ruins, the statues underneath Sandpoint here, so not too far away.
That would be quite close. If there were two Thessalonian rulers of that sort, one can only speculate as to what sort of powers, mystical and ancient, they were able to wield with against each other. And I'm assuming that you all came across quite a few odds and ends in Thistletop.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I tell him about the experiment room, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
We saw there was a room where they were doing all sorts of experiments on. It looked like on these. I only hope they were dead.
Fascinating.
But their skeletons were misshapen in all sorts of gruesome and horrible ways.
Yes, it is quite fascinating. The concept of morality, as we understand it, didn't seem to exist to a very refined degree back then. It sounds like these may indeed have been quite grisly sacrifices. As you know, I am primarily a student of architecture. There's only so much I can tell you about what the Thessalonian society might have been like, but it sounds as though there was some sort of conflict between these Thessalonian rulers, one from Sandpoint, or what would one day be founded to be Sandpoint, and one there in Thistletop. But these are thousands of years old, so one can pretty assuredly say that whatever conflict they had, it came to an end at the latest with Starfall, and the Cataclysm destroyed the Thessalonian civilization as we knew it.
Indeed.
I think those bodies look like the work of the evil demon Lamashtu or the followers.
Well, of course, Lamashtu, being one of the goddesses, probably could have had some sort of pact with these people, especially if they were making these sacrifices or bizarre, monstrous experiments you've described. That would be right in line.
It seems that Lamashtu has great influence over this area. I mean, with Noalia succumbing to the, for lack of a better term, affliction of her desires, and that well we found beneath Sandpoint, and these horrible monstrosities that we found beneath Thistletop.
Yes, shameful, and very, very horrible thing to see what happened to that girl. It is quite sad. I'm glad at least that you all were able to bring the lass in alive instead of slaying her as many were tempted to do in this area.
Well, let's just say that we all have a little bit of a soft spot for a wayward orphan. Isn't that right, Raymond? And I kind of like pat Raymond. Wait, where is Raymond? I just feel I
I
say
don't
he's
think
not
I'm
in the
there,
bar.
dude.
Oh, where are you at?
Where are you?
Is the whole party there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
everybody else
jacking
is.
it somewhere.
Guess
just,
I think I left my token up north.
just
Oh.
jacking it.
Okay.
Up
I
in the-
didn't
up-
move.
up-
I didn't move you here. You guys are pretty much free
Yeah.
to move about town of your own volition.
I'm
Just
I'm
up-
laying
up-
down right now, so I'm not looking at my screen, so I wasn't sure where I was at.
Gotcha. Feeling alright?
He's
Not
just
really.
laying. He's chilling.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Yeah, such is life. Okay, yeah. So I'm there. What did you just say?
Yeah, I reach over and pat Raymond. Like if it's like we have a soft spot for like the wayward orphans. And
Oh.
then I pat Raymond on the back, sort of being like,
I don't think you have to really reach down to get my back.
I'm only 4'2" and you're
Yeah.
3 foot.
Okay,
Like,
yeah. Okay, no, you're right.
It's doable.
me and you are like,
Yeah.
you're my short friend. I'm
Yep.
everybody else's short friend.
I still look up to everybody though.
Okay. I will say that Broderick Quink seems interested in talking to you guys, but he seems to have exhausted his expertise on this particular specialty. He is mostly like a student of like architecture and things like that, and his scanty knowledge of like Thessalonian history only gets him so far.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
feel
it's
like
kind of a building. It's big enough that it's kind of a building.
Oh, actually, I know everything about this now. Technically, a creature lived inside of it, so I do know everything about it.
I think like Cardi and Vanya probably sit down with Broder at a table drinking beers and like exchanging all the notes so that he has them. And like,
Yeah.
we're just passing downtime at that point. Like, if
I think,
Yeah.
like at some point we make like plans with him to maybe go down into the ruins beneath Sandpoint, so that he can, we can like kind of protect him and he can look at things that maybe he wouldn't normally get to see and
Yeah.
provide his expertise.
So
see
I
if he
think.
can.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're right. I was just gonna say, see if he could provide any more insight is the word I'm looking for.
Okay. I think if you guys took him down there, he would know not a lot more that seems to pertain to your situation. I think he'd mostly be fascinated to study the architecture down there. He might surmise that the statue of Elasnist was, one of these great rulers. But he probably wouldn't be able to tell you a whole lot more. He's not like a student of Arcana or anything.
Yeah.
He is an architectural. He mostly is here to like study what he believes to be Thessalonian artifacts. I don't think he knows a lot about like the inner workings of the civilization, if anybody does,
Right.
or these particular figures.
he's a Thessalonian historian and not an anthropologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he is a specifically an architectural
Gotcha.
student. So
Okay.
for him, it's like artifacts and things like that he'd be fascinated by, but he is like mostly his knowledge is of their architecture, and like people who specialize in Greco-Roman architecture know a lot about Greece and Rome, but probably not a massive amount about like the societies apart from the ways in which the architecture facilitates their ways of life.
I'm totally cool with just saying that, like, me and Vanya totally plan a field trip and like
Yeah.
do that
Go
in
down
our
there for
like
him,
sometime in our
for his
downtime that we're
sake,
gonna
'cause
have.
he's useful.
Yeah, I would
Um,
say your guys' downtime now is the time to think about that, because as you guys come back to the bar and rest and relax from your combat, folk periodically kind of come through to check in and wish you guys well and thank you for cleansing Thistletop of the goblin threat, and their eyes kind of glaze over if you guys go more and more into like all this Thessalonian stuff. Like
Which
they
we
don't know
do.
what the hell.
Which we do.
Yeah, which
We-
you ought to
Vanya
do.
100% does.
You well deserve recognition, but I think that they really don't have much of a concept of what you're talking about. They're like, yeah, well,
Vanya
that
yaks
sounds
about this
crazy.
stuff and- yeah. Well, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vanya continues yakking probably until Cardi stops her.
Right.
'Cause, you know.
Yeah. I think we can say that you guys have time if you look at the downtime rules. Chris, you take care of yourself so you can get whatever you want to get to me whenever you want. Don't feel that you're rushed or that I'm going to punish you if you don't like get your entry in right now. But yeah, it's a good time to think about what you might want to do with your newfound capital. I would say that you guys have time to get find like lesser known magical or specific items. Now would be a time maybe you could grab that catalog of the magic shop from Magnamar and get something mail ordered to you or something like that. If you wanted to take time, there's like a whole section on like gaining capital, like doing labor, something like skilled or unskilled work, things like that.
Yeah, unless you guys have stuff that you want me to craft, I'll probably use my downtime because I don't have enough money to craft anything that I want right now.
I would like you to craft a thing.
So let me know what you guys need crafted.
Yeah, I'll probably want something crafted too. I just haven't.
I would like you to craft me a Boro bead.
Oh, I remember those.
Boro bead.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can craft this.
I can provide the one of the components if we're collaboratively crafting. Craft wondrous item creator must be able to prepare extracts of the extract level to be recalled. Costs 500 gold.
Just the
Material
first level
cost
one?
is 500. Yeah. Because
Okay.
I want to. I may get more along the way because having these basically gives me my spell slots back.
Yeah, it's really good. But
they're
don't
super
Boro
good.
beads.
Wow, that's very high caster level. Okay.
What's
Oh, is
your
it, like,
spellcraft
super
at
high?
right now?
So it's a caster level 16, which
Oh
would be
yeah,
21.
so those are extra. Those are like pearls of
Oh,
power,
okay.
right?
They're basically
I'd have
plus the
to-
power for up.
Yeah.
Then I would have to. I will probably go buy one then.
Well,
I
they are.
think I can craft it because, like, I guess that depends. Would you allow me? Like, can I use? So like the spellcraft check to make one would be 21 because it would
Yeah.
be 5 plus 16.
Mhm.
If you need me to fulfill the requirement of I can't craft alch checks, so that I would need that at an additional plus 5, then that I wouldn't be able to take a 10 on that. I'd have to roll, and then there's a bad chance. But if you let, like, since he's helping with it,
Let's see. Creator must be able to prepare extracts of the extract level to be recalled. That's a special requirement. I don't know what.
yeah. So normally, in order to ignore that, I would have to take the plus 5. So that would make it a
I
20.
think you would have to take a
But-
plus 5.
If I'm collaborating with him, can I provide that?
With
of the
cooperative
production?
crafting, maybe. I'm
Well,
not
so
entirely
I
sure.
don't know if that's the thing is like I don't know because I get cooperative crafting with my valet.
Mhm.
So I guess that puts me at a 20. What is my spellcraft? Spellcraft is 13, so my default take a 10 is a 25, and this would be a 26 if I need to fill that requirement. So there's a chance that I fail to make it and you waste 500 gold.
Yeah. I mean, I can't let him use cooperative crafting for free, for that type of requirement. Like for supplying a spell, I think I could say like you could sit with them maybe and do
'cause
it.
They're like on the magic creation rules for supplying a spell, like that is included. Like if somebody else provides the spell every day during your
Right.
crafting.
Yeah, this one seems like it is specifically like a requirement as part of what this item like it requires specific knowledge about crafting alchemical works.
Fair enough. That makes sense to me.
So
Yeah.
I'll let you choose. If I craft it, it's gonna be like I have to roll an 11 or higher
Yeah,
to
that's
succeed.
a
Otherwise, you lose the
roll
500
die.
gold,
What?
or you spend 1,000. And
I'm perfectly fine with taking the risk because I'd rather have the 500 gold.
'Kay.
I'm fine taking that.
here it goes, because it would only take me 1 day to craft.
Big money.
Roll a 10.
21
so
is the. Oh shit!
I do not succeed.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
25 out of
Okay.
26.
Well,
Roll the dice.
what good are you?
shit. Yeah.
Oh.
Damn, you were 1 off.
That was 1 off.
Was anybody
It's
spamming
burn a
guidance on you the
hero.
whole time?
Point?
I mean, if you can allow a retcon of guidance, then I succeed.
I mean,
Because it
would
is only
of
one
your-
check.
Would one of your pals be spamming the guidance cantrip on you the whole time because they know how dicey this is? I guess is the question.
Does anybody have guidance in this group?
I would guess it's a cantrip.
I think Roymond has guidance.
Royman probably would, but I think he's taking care of himself.
Probably not.
Okay, so if I
I don't want that to all go to waste because you missed one. You missed the roll by 1.
Yeah.
But I think cleric or an oracle can do it. So I think I think it would make
I
sense.
go to Father Xantus and be like, hey.
Yeah. You pay. All right, I'll give you this. You pay Father Xantus 50 gold to spend his whole day, and it succeeds.
Sweet.
worth it.
How's that? 10% guidance fee.
10% guidance fee.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a donation
it's
to
a
the church.
Yes, exactly. A charitable donation to the
Right.
the temple or church or
Yeah,
whatever.
they need new shutters after the goblin raid. The goblins they targeted the shutters specifically.
Cardi donates his time to assist in the,
Yeah,
the installation and
yes.
crafting of such shutters. And
Yeah, I
in exchange
imagine
for-
that we would probably help with that because he's been useful to us, and
Yeah.
maybe Vanya helps like organize the stock room or something like that, and like determines, oh yeah, this stuff you've been keeping in here has been expired for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like some like old healing potions or some shit,
yeah.
Yeah.
Blythe.
I'm gonna grab a drink, but
Yeah.
I would encourage you all
Okay.
to take a think, even just character wise, what your people would be doing for the week plus that you've got off.
I'm buying 2 spring-loaded wrist sheaths so that I can
Nice.
have potions on command.
Yeah. Blythe, Eugene, Damon. Any magical items that you call in your names?
Oh, I don't know what would be good for a barbarian. I guess. I mean, can you make my longsword a +2 or something like that? Or-
I can't do magical weapons yet. I can only do like the wondrous items, so like the bracers, like chest pieces, helms, necklaces, not rings, but necklace.
Blythe was asking cloak of +1 resistance.
I think I can do a cloak of resistance. Let me
Oh, son.
see. Actually, I might do that for myself. That's not a bad idea.
My little kitty. My little kitty.
I can absolutely do a cloak of resistance, and I can do that taking a 10, and it takes me a day. So I think I'm gonna make one for myself as well. Good
Is there
one.
something-
You
What does
didn't.
luck do?
Say what, Matt?
What does luck do? I feel like I want it, but I don't know.
So like luck is a type of bonus. It doesn't like you don't have luck. Like there's not like a way to just get luck.
well,
obvious.
right, but I mean, but that would be a worthy magical item. Something that gave me +1 luck.
Well, like there isn't like luck isn't a stat like it is in other games. So it's like you don't just have like luck. So halflings are lucky. So part of their like kit is that when they do get something that does give them luck bonuses, which is like certain items, certain feats, certain skills, provide a luck bonus because they're like lucky.
Oh,
Um,
gotcha.
Those luck bonuses are doubled. And luck bonuses stack with other types of bonuses, so like a luck bonus would stack with a sacred bonus or a deflection bonus.
Yeah, luck is just a type of bonus. So you can have like, if you have like an enhancement bonus to your armor, like it's magical, that would be an enhancement bonus. You could also have a different item that gave you a luck bonus to the same thing, right? To like a luck bonus to AC, and they would stack. Whereas if you had two things that gave you an enhancement bonus to like your armor or your saves, they wouldn't stack with each other unless they're two different types of bonuses. So the reason that luck is valuable is because it's rare and it stacks with all of the normal types of bonuses. So yeah, I mean, if you had something like my character in Carrying Crown has Fate's Favored, which increases all of your luck bonuses by 1, and he has armor that gives him a +1 bonus to all saving throws, +1 luck bonus to all saving throws. But since I have the trait Fate's Favored, it increases all those to a +2, which is like very, very handy. Because I can then also wear Cloak of Resistance, which gives me... Is that just a resistance bonus? What is...
Yeah, resistance bonus.
Yeah, and they would stack with each other. So, it can be very handy.
I feel like this is taking a lot of research.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it probably would. So I'm not going to hold you guys to anything too heavy. The only things I'll toss out as recommendations would be like Belt of Giant Strength or anything like that. I'm not entirely sure how much money you guys have to throw around.
Yeah, even with a 50% discount, I get those.
Belt of Giant Strength, the smallest one would cost 2,000 gold.
Yeah.
Imagine you guys are fairly close.
Yeah, I wasn't too far from it. I just bought a Cloak of Resistance for 500.
I would have been able to get one, but I couldn't get anything else.
Did I also make you one, Whitney?
I haven't heard her for a while.
I haven't heard you speak, so...
She might be...
It occurs to me that
they might be helping with Chris.
Well, she's trying to say something, but I don't know if her mic's working. She just seems...
I just realized she's probably been talking for the last 30 minutes. And
Well, not 30. It's like the past 5 seconds.
A little bit, yeah.
Really far away.
Far away.
Across the room.
I might have the wrong mic.
There we go.
There you go.
You got it. You're good.
You know?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yep.
Sorry, Zoo, you could have told me a while ago they
I
couldn't
have
hear
you
me.
muted, Whitney, because I don't like hearing the echoes.
Oh.
That makes
Because
sense.
Whitney-
So she couldn't have known.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Because Whitney sits so close, I don't like the reverberating. I do that.
Yeah, I totally get that. I did that with
fuck me
Jack
too.
and Damoon when I was in the same house with them. I would just
Right.
Yeah, no, I've been saying Cloak of Resistance repeatedly, and I was like, no one can hear me. They're just talking right over me.
Yeah,
I've said this
that
like
one-
15
so,
times
Cloak of
that I
Resistance-
wanted this thing.
Cloak of Resistance for me is a 15, so I can take a 10 on that
Yes.
and just craft it right
Yeah.
away. And it takes me 1 day, so like I'll do one for you and then I'll do one for me because that's just a good item. So I'm gonna do that. That's only 500 gold.
Do you need like a workspace?
If I'm in a town and we have downtime, then it's assumed that I have a space that I can use.
Okay.
In the crafting rules, that's sort of like if you're in a town and you do it at normal speed, and if you're out of a town, it's half speed.
Right. So if you're trying to do it while you're camping, it's...
Yeah, but I also like my Valet Familiar lets me do cooperative crafting, so I craft twice as fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, so even out of town, it takes me 1 day to make 1,000 gold worth of stuff.
Dope. So yeah, you can definitely it sounds like you can do like a cloak a day. So by the end of it, you're just like churning out these +1 Cloak of Resistances, which is maybe the best like gold for value item that you guys could be buying right now.
So if you have 500 gold and you aren't sure what to get, then it's a good one. If you're a attacky guy and you have 2,000 gold, then a Belt of Giant Strength is pretty good.
Ring of Protection's pretty handy.
Cloak a day keeps the failures away.
I can't do rings. That is a much higher level item. That is Forge Ring, which is a 7th level.
Roymond already has a Cloak of Resistance, I believe. from
Oh, yeah, you got some sort of
Nualia.
cloak.
You got one from the captain. I believe that you went with the armor at first, but then he gave you the previous guard captain's cloak that he had kept as a memento.
Well, I am not high enough level to make a +2, but that would be, let's see, I would need to be level 6.
I'm pretty sure that's not where my money's going anyway.
Okay, cool. Then I won't even think about calculating it because that's just an annoying calculation.
Yeah.
I will be training Sven for sure.
Okay. I
use the
figured you
time.
would.
Does
Yeah.
anybody want any alchemical things like antitoxins, like any of
Tanglefoot
the
bags.
tanglefoot bags,
anti-plague,
that kind of stuff.
things like
Is there
that.
anything-
That was the one I was trying to think of.
To make a weapon magical, like a blanch or anything for that?
I can
Like a silver
probably make
blanch?
blanches.
You probably can.
I don't know
I
a
haven't
whole
looked
lot
it up.
about them, but let's look here. Chemical creations, because there's so much.
It looks like the blanches just like make it a different type of metal.
The only thing bad about the weapon blanches is they're one strike for a melee
one
weapon, but
strike?
ranged. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for ammo, they can do X number of ammunition pieces, which are burnt anyway. So each blanch covers 10 pieces of ammunition. So I would need to
for
go
you
through the crafting
crafters
calculator and stuff. Yeah.
as well, it takes 8 hours a day of crafting is the assumption. Is that like that's the maximum amount you can do? So you would still have another like 8 hours, for downtime if you guys wanted to do the other downtime activities. If you're trying to earn some extra money, or I guess neither of you have things you need to train. Like you don't need to train your familiar to do anything.
No, he just sort of knows stuff. But yeah, I'll actually. That's good to call out. I will probably use. Because I think I can use spellcraft to like craft magic items and armor, like craft magical items as downtime to get money.
There's also retraining. I don't think anybody particularly wishes to do that, but this would be a good time for that.
Ooh, okay. I'll think about that.
Yeah.
Well, I do have one curiosity for you there, Cardi.
Yeah?
Can you make these yet?
Boots of the Earth. Let's
Boots of
see.
the Earth.
Okay, let's see. Do they cast a spell?
No, but they have spells required to craft.
Strength and
Well, you
Cure
can
Light
supply Cure Light
Wounds.
Wounds every day of the crafting, right? So I
Yes.
don't need that one. So I'd only be missing one spell, so that's a +5. Cast level
And I can
third.
cast spells now? One a
Say
day? I
Now,
can
Chris-
cast spells now, one a day.
Chris, remember what we said. The fast healing. I would prefer to only allow you to fully heal everybody in the entire party like once a day.
I thought we were going to go with the Pathfinder Society rules. which
I
don't
believe that's what it
recall
is.
What it was. Is it once a day?
I think they you can only gain fast healing once a day.
It's fine.
I mean, which is fine because it's literally a full group heal. Like, honestly, that's
It's
so
literally an
overpowered.
entire
It's
group
amazing.
heal.
I would like for such a good item. Like, that's a really good item just for that. Like,
Yeah. That was my main concern, was that it's literally 5,000 gold or 2,500 gold for unlimited, infinite healing for anybody with his character. And I was like, oh, that feels way too good for that cost.
yeah, in Pathfinder Society, they are nerfed to 1 a day ability.
Yeah, once a day.
Where'd you
which
find that? I can't find it.
I just googled it. And
It's a Pathfinder. It's a society errata. They are still officially like on the thing. The thing that doesn't make sense is that a ring of regeneration is 90,000 gold, which does less than those two. It only does fast healing 1, whereas the Boots of the Earth, like allow that plus the CMD stuff. Boy, howdy, is that strong.
You would think they would have fixed that by now, outside of Pathfinder Society. But let's see. Cast level 3rd, so that's an 8. I don't have full strength. Unless you have full strength. Do you? Okay. Then yeah, because it doesn't give you full strength. So yeah, that would be 13. So yeah, I can grab those if you have the 2,500 gold.
Well, I sure do.
Cool. Well, then 3 days later, you have Boots of the Earth.
Sexy.
Very cool.
I take a 10. I love being a crafter. This is great.
You see that Eugen also wants a cloak of resistance?
Cool. Then a day after I finish the Boots of the Earth, I make a cloak of resistance for Eugen, and you spend 500 gold on it.
I spent 4 of my days figuring out that
What you want to buy? Yeah.
I have a
Those
question.
cloaks you crafted look really cool. Maybe I want one too.
But can I have some names on the back? Just for
I embroider.
You guys have the Guy Fieri of adventure.
I embroider. I embroider some flames in the back, and they actually like, depending on how you move the cloak, they actually like move around, but like it's just a visual thing.
Welcome to Eugen's new show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dungeon Dives.
Oh, I like that. That could be a podcast name.
Jesus God.
just Eugen, it's fine.
Dude, actually, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dungeon Dives is like not too far off the mark for a pretty good podcast name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just talk about Pathfinder food.
Jesus.
Pathfinder.
Pathfinder.
Remember when we boiled the crab in a giant help?
I'll be right back.
God. Okay.
Eugen, what are you gonna do with all that stuff that you like were stuffing in your bag while we were down at the pool area?
Well, I don't actually know what it is. I kind of figured it would be just for us.
Yeah, I think in your haste to abscond with as much loot as you could, you actually ended up grabbing like all of the like broken armor and just like rusty and like broken clay pots.
How do you think we carried it? I'm sure scooped up some stuff.
I mean, I thought you were trying to like. This is, by the way, I will point out, you didn't say Eugen did this. I believe that just. I believe that that Zoo said it for your character.
No, he typed it out.
Oh, did you?
He did. Yeah, he typed Eugen starts scooping up anything shiny from the floor and tucking it in his bag.
Intelligence isn't as strong. Really.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And then he says, then he tosses a few gold just as a thanks for letting me take your shit.
Oh, ashamedly tosses a few gold coins back into the water.
Yeah, well, because then you were so nice with the amulet natural armor.
Oh, you guys were. Yeah. This etiquette instructor seems like he could use a few of his own lessons, I'm gonna say.
Kind of greedy, I'm surprised.
He's a etiquette instructor. You know, he's gold is pretty dope.
He's like a raccoon.
Well.
Gold is very appropriate.
So, do we have like 3? How many weeks do we have? So I know what I can train for.
It's up to my discretion, but I would say that if you guys have like a plan for like a month, give it to me, and I will let you know where you are when the peaceful times perhaps don't continue. But if you wanted to say, like, if you had like 2 or 3 weeks worth of training that you wanted to be doing for Sven, we can make 2 or 3 of those rolls now.
Well, I can. The thing is, like, I can train him for a purpose, and then I only roll 1 time, but I have to do it for 3 weeks.
It takes 3 weeks.
Wait, what? Training is 3 weeks?
It's
For
only a
purpose
week.
training.
What's purpose training?
Well, you can essentially like teach him the multiple tricks, and then you only have to roll 1 time.
I mean, I don't know if any of you have a dog. 3 weeks sounds very optimistic.
That seems high. Animal purpose training. It's a spell.
No, train animal for a purpose. In handle animal. Like there is a spell to do that too, but
Oh, okay.
in the handle animal, there's a section train an animal for a purpose,
For
and
a
then
general
you can
purpose.
teach them. Yeah.
Let's see. I didn't get to that part. Rather than teaching an animal individual tricks, you can simply train it for a general purpose. Essentially, an animal's purpose represents a pre-selected set of tricks that fit into a... It says a set of known tricks that fit into a common scheme, such as guarding or heavy labor.
Yeah, so you would they would get a set of tricks.
Gotcha. So it's just a training package.
basically.
Yeah.
But combat training is 3 weeks. So
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. Yeah. If you want to do general combat training, so take 3 weeks to teach Sven general combat
Well,
training, or
I'm teaching him fighting because combat training is actually for like mounts, unless
right? Yeah, you're
someone's going to ride him.
Well,
I
it's
figure
I
by
mean,
him.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind, but at the same time,
Well,
I'm not
you
gonna-
There are, I think dwarves are medium, right? But halflings can ride.
Hell yeah!
So
Well-
he could
Yeah.
ride Sven. If that's something you wanted to teach him to do for 3 weeks.
I am a medium creature. I'm sad. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure dwarves they're like stocky-ish.
Wait, is
No.
fighting also 3? Oh, it does take 3 weeks. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so do you want to roll that? Let's say that
Yeah.
over the next like 3 weeks, and we'll say this is going to govern how that goes. Big money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right,
So
that's right.
you spend 3 weeks teaching Sven general fighting aptitude while Cardi works on your cloak of resistance and spends his downtime. Eugene hems and haws for days at a time over whether or not he wants to commission a cloak of resistance. Maybe he's gonna
Actually,
let the entire
is
adventuring life
there,
pass
like,
by.
Wolf flight armor?
Like barding?
Well, for animal companions, I think the only thing that's really helpful is like an animal amulet of natural armor and that sort of thing, because it boosts their existing natural armor, which
Yeah.
is pretty good. He has +2 right now. He'll have +4 later.
Okay.
I mean, could you conceivably fashion a belt of cat's grace for a dog?
well, I'm actually
mean,
like curious if animal companions can wear other armor.
I mean, a collar is basically.
Yeah, that's essentially a dog belt.
Well, and he'll be large shortly in 2 levels, 3 levels.
He
When
might
I'm level
outgrow it.
7, he'll
oh
be
my
level
God, he's
7.
a fucking puppy. That's the cutest.
He's a puppy. He is a
He's a
a
dire
medium-sized puppy because he's a dire wolf.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's a giant puppy
Okay.
that now
so
knows how to
animals-
fight.
Animals can
Before
wear
he only
armor,
knew how to flee.
They wear
Mhm.
barding. Animal
Also, I don't really
companions-
know what this would do. Like, I don't know what purpose it would serve, but I imagine that he's going to spend with.
You're
was
breaking
that?
up a little bit.
Yeah.
a bit choppy.
Is that better?
I think so.
Oh,
I think so. Hard to tell yet.
I think he's going to want to spend a lot. Someone who. Damn it.
You're still chopping
Yeah.
a little bit.
It sounds
It's
like you're
clipping
like
from your.
across the room from your microphone.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a little far
It's
away.
So close to my face.
Oh damn.
no. Maybe it needs to be the opposite. What if you hold it a little bit further? Maybe it's too close, and that's your problem.
I doubt
Is
that
better?
would
Nope.
happen.
Maybe.
That's worse.
Something? Fucker.
Maybe if you shut your computer off, we'll be able to hear you better.
Anything? No?
I can
I
hear
know
you
that's about the
kind of,
same.
but the
Yeah.
problem is it keeps cutting out mid sentence.
Son of a
Yeah.
bitch. Alright, I'll type it.
Okay.
Kind of sound like you're working in a garage or some place that has an echoey.
He's in their new house.
We
So
have
I-
to mention that.
Yeah, they have a
Oh.
mansion.
So it's
You actually
empty.
do have a nice house, right?
It's the biggest house I've ever.
Yeah, that's nice.
How many homeless people could you fit?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Or
God.
regular people, or
Oh,
real
yeah.
people.
Or real people, sorry.
How many
Oh,
real
regular,
people
like
would you fit?
20.
Oh my god. Just think of this. Just think of 20 homeless. That's like 10 real people.
Hello, YouTube.
Luxuriant.
Okay. I would like to consult with somebody on the crafting business just to make sure that I'm doing this properly.
Sure.
So I'm using the crafting calculator. I'm currently trying to craft a silver weapon blanch. The price of that item, the purchase price, is 5 gold pieces. The item DC is 20. I have no prior work on it. If I take a take a 10 on this, if I'm doing my math right, I have a base of 10. Then I have the 11 from my craft alchemy, which would be 21.
You have 11 craft alchemy? Oh, your modifier.
Yes. Yeah, my 11. Yeah, my modifier to craft alchemy is 11.
Uh-huh.
I have being an alchemist gives me a +4 competence bonus on craft alchemy checks. It's equal to my level, so that's 25. And then I have masterwork portable alchemy lab, which would give me another +2, bringing me up to 27.
Right. You can craft any alchemical item, it sounds like, by taking a 10.
Yeah, craft alchemy is different from the other ones. So like
yeah.
So like whatever the price of the item is, convert that to
third.
silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Divide it by 3.
Yeah.
Multiply your craft check, which is 27 when you take a 10, times whatever the DC for the item is.
So yeah, it'd be 27 times 20.
Which is why the calculator is great.
And that's so 540, and then whatever. How much does the weapon blanch cost?
5 gold, 50 silver.
50
Oh my
silver.
god.
Oh, then yeah, you blow it out of the park. You immediately finish in a day. It takes you one day.
Okay, because it said 0.13 or 0.3 days, but like
Yeah. So
That's like 2 hours or
yeah,
whatever.
you can make 540 silver worth of progress towards any item. Like when you take a 10, you just like automatically get 540 silver progress towards that.
okay.
Okay. And then you just like however many days it takes you to like, reach the gold price divided by 3, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that I'm
Craft alchemy is
I'm
the worst.
interpreting this. Yeah, it's
Same with crafting
complicated,
arms and armor. Like if I don't
It's
buy masterwork
annoying.
armor, it's also
Yeah.
it's like the same thing, but not a third. I think it's something
Yeah.
else. I think it's
I
just
think you
flat.
can easily buy masterwork and then just.
Yeah.
Let's
who
see,
wants weapon blanches? Ranged characters who would like to have silver
I would-
arrows
I-
at a vast discount.
Can I? How much are adamantine?
Matt's
Adamantine
character.
are so it'd be what, like 33 gold ish.
Eugene is literally seeking a therapist.
The options.
Yeah, basically.
Oh boy. I'm gonna guess Father Xantus would probably be the best person. Like I can't think of therapy does not exist in this world. Either like a Miku or either a really patient bartender, which I think is like the ye old therapist of yore or whatever. Or
Monk?
maybe a priest. Like
Wait,
I
I was
can't.
gonna say the pastor would be the person you'd talk to about this sort
Yeah.
of thing.
How about
Uh,
Flea
I was
comes
thinking a
into
monk
this
or a
game?
priest or something.
I mean, it's not. I can't bring a character. Actually, I can do whatever I want because this is
Yeah, I
my
was gonna
world,
say,
and I'm
yeah.
God. A mute monk enters into the tavern one day, and
That's gonna be real helpful.
and Eugene is able to just divest himself of all this emotional luggage that he's been bringing on by the fact that he is occasionally possessed with the spirit of his barbarian warlord ancient ancestor, who is a demon.
So, making adamantine weapon blanch would cost 33 gold, 3 silver, 3 copper, and would take 5.2 days.
That's fucking nothing. What the
Other than the
fuck?
time.
Yeah.
Wait, 3 days. It would take you 1 day.
That's what this is saying. It's 5.2 days. Item
Oh wait, did I
DCs.
misunderstand the crafting? Is it?
So it'd be 1,000 silver pieces.
Oh, you have to make it's 1,000 silver.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
you have to do
100
the
gold,
whole
1,000
full
silver.
price, even though it doesn't cost that much. Gotcha. See, that's where it's dumb.
Yeah.
That's where it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yeah,
Well, I
100
want one of those.
That's
Yeah.
fucking nutty though. That you would have access to adamantine for 33 gold.
That's nuts.
Well, it's an adamantine blanche.
But how long does
Yeah.
it take him? It takes you 5 days to craft?
It takes 5 days for me to craft that.
Okay.
Is the thing,
So,
which is not a whole lot of time.
no, but it's going to take you a significant portion of the downtime
Yeah.
between these chapters to do. So it's
Yeah.
not like he's rolling in it. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but it's not like he
Yeah.
can just make these
Yeah.
daily.
Still,
Yeah,
to me,
not these.
just the idea that we would have that in our arsenal this early.
But
Yeah.
that is actually something
Quite
to keep in
nice.
mind, Chris, for when Leopold is crafting adamantine blanches. It does take 5 days, or his might be like fewer days, but it's still gonna take time to
You
craft.
guys
it.
Yeah.
travel so fucking much though.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like
I
Yeah.
have swift alchemy though,
he
so
can just
it would take
crash it
10
while
days.
you guys are on the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. Okay, so it's 33 gold and 333.
Yeah. 33, 3, and 3.
Cool. I will now have an adamantine blanche,
Uh,
just in case I need it.
Zoo, there is no. I don't think that there's a brothel here, but there is a place called the Sandpoint Meat Market, which, if you try hard enough, maybe.
Just, you
You
know,
will find something to stick your meat in.
oh
Yeah,
my
Or
goodness.
something,
Probably
some meat to stick in
find-
you.
Or
Some-
somebody who's willing to buy your meat.
Yes.
The-
I think
You
I'll
want to put yourself
slab.
on the market.
well,
Exotic sex services from a half orc.
I would probably like do some kind of labor, because I was reading like the downtimes, and
Yeah.
you can go and work at some place.
Hmm.
Oh, what's that called? Well, there's like unskilled work and there's skilled work. I'm assuming mine would just be unskilled, because
Skilled
I don't
work,
have
you would
much-
literally have a skill related to that thing.
oh,
So-
okay, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I believe that Eugene has like a skill point in etiquette or something like that. So
Oh,
he could theoretically like actually work as an etiquette instructor. Find a place.
I could potentially be like a
But
not like a bodyguard, but like one
Yeah.
of those bouncers or
you
something.
could even use
I was
like
thinking-
intimidate. I think probably
Yeah.
right as like
Mhm.
a like as a skill if you're good at that.
Mhm.
But you actually roll for it.
Yeah.
Don't.
Because I saw like the labor, and that means I could do like some building or something to use with my strength. And or I just go fishing. I'd be just this huge orc sitting, or half orc sitting at the
Literally
little
fishing, I mean,
bay area
you know.
fishing. Because I don't know
So-
really what items I would necessarily need.
I mean, do you have like a cloak of resistance or a natural amulet, natural armor? Like,
No, I don't.
see,
Oh, wait.
Matt?
Wait. The Pixie's Kitten.
Pixie
Located on the
kitten.
corner of Salmon Street and Razor
Oh.
Street, the Pixie's Kitten is the town's brothel.
Ooh.
Owned and run by Kay Tesserani, it is generally a distinguished and well-run establishment which offers generously compensated women and men for the townfolk's more carnal needs.
Oh, that's perfect.
The brothel employs 3 large Schwanti men as bodyguards and bouncers who generally have no problem keeping the peace and dealing with malcontents. Jubrail Vishki, the head of the local
Mhm.
gang, I can't say that, has been trying to get prostitution outlawed in Sandpoint for years. But Kay's relationship with Sheriff Bellor Hemlock has so far prevented this.
Yeah, I want to work there and also,
Stuck there.
yeah.
You wanna be like, listen, I'll bodyguard for you, but I get to fuck once a day. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
Something like that.
Get one free smash.
Get a free
Um,
bang.
Back,
For the
Smash.
downtime rules, like
Becky
There's
used
a-
to like blue.
there's like a table for like how much capital you earn for your skill check result.
Um,
Is that like, do you just like, but like how much money do you get from that? Like, I guess I don't know where that.
hey Whitney, as a
Oh, you
as
just
a
do it per
ranged-
day.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind, I
Right.
found it.
As a ranged person, would you
What's
like
coming?
some weapon blanches?
ride the
I would take one for the arrows. I'm not usually ranged, but sometimes.
Yeah, just to have it as an option because I'm definitely making like multiple silver ones because silver is just has a variety of things that it's good
Mhm.
for. So
Because that'll overcome, like regular DR. Like it'll count as magic that way, right?
No.
No.
no, it'll just count as silver.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure
So
where it went. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd
anything
take
that
one.
responds to silver, like vampires and werewolves, which may or may not come up. But it's the cheapest one, and it takes me literally no time to make, and it's vastly cheaper.
Cool.
So I'm gonna make. Would you like one as well, Cardi?
Good with the adamantine because that will overcome everything else. Or usually.
It's
No, it
so
doesn't.
much more
Never mind.
expensive and takes so much more time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still want the one adamantine that you gave me, or that I.
well, of course, yeah. That's signed, sealed. and
I don't
delivered.
shoot a lot. Like I'm literally like holding on to these as like a. I have them
Yeah.
if I need them, and I can put them in somebody else's quiver if I have to.
Yeah. Well, I will make. Does anybody else have ranged stuff?
I think it's just
I have my
me.
sling.
Your sling.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Raymond
could
has
give
a
you
bow.
silver-coated slingshot
Hell yeah.
shot.
Do I owe you for
So-
this?
Very little. Actually, I will make them complimentary
Oh.
Ooh, thanks.
because I am a kind and generous alchemist.
That's
You
10
guys
silver
could
arrows.
conceivably
That's-
like build houses and shit.
Yeah.
There's all
I'm
kinds
living
of
for
shit.
free. Why would I do that?
I mean, that's you guys have rooms for life in
Mm-hmm.
I was
in
gonna
the
say-
inn, so you wouldn't need
Exactly.
to.
I think if we stay here very long, and even after like 3 weeks being here, Blythe is itching to leave and probably not in the city a lot.
I mean,
I
you could
imagine that
even
you're
go
probably outside the
ranging,
city training.
and
most
yeah,
of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
wouldn't
probably
train your
training
dog
a
in the
wolf.
city.
That site is probably bad.
We can sort a bunch of the rest of the stuff out, like the particulars, at some point. But at some point, you guys are all together in the tavern, and in through the door walks Sheriff Bellor Hemlock.
Just as a heads up, Matt had to leave. I
Oh,
don't know if you saw
shit.
that.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
he's gone.
He had to bounce. Fuck.
Yep. I just
Well-
wasn't sure if you wanted to pause here or if you wanted to.
I still
you
want to
without
give
him.
you guys.
Sure.
I still want to give you guys this. But we're getting close. That's to the time that I like to end, and that's why I was doing it. Okay. Yeah. Well, in any case, I'll give this to you guys, and we can start off. Let's say that Eugene is passed out at the bar. He walks in and he seems to look around in a panic state for a little bit. Finally, he sets his eyes on you all. This is about 3 weeks since you finished emptying Thistletop of its dangers, and he says, "Oh, thank the gods." And he walks up and he looks a little shaken. He says, "I need to speak with you all. We should head someplace private. Perhaps in the rooms above, or perhaps we ought to go back to the garrison."
Hi,
That-
come upstairs. I think it's pretty private up there. It's middle of the day.
As long as you don't touch any of my things.
The
Very well.
rooms are pretty cramped for
there's so
all of
much
us.
As long as I get to drink.
You guys go into, I guess, your adjoining rooms, and he says, "This is fine, Pierre. These are your all's rooms. There's no one in them, I suppose."
I don't think so. Wait, which one was mine?
I don't remember.
You see that he's clutching a piece of parchment in his hand, and he says,
Sheriff, is everything all right? Like, are you doing all right? You seem a bit stressed.
I'm more than stressed. Says, first, let me thank you all again for everything you've done for Sandpoint. It's fortunate you've proven yourselves so capable because we have a problem that I think you can help with. A problem that I wish I didn't have to involve anyone with, but one that needs dealing with now before the situation grows worse. Put simply, we have a murderer in our midst, one who I fear has only begun his work. Some of you doubtless remember the late unpleasantness, how this town nearly tore itself apart in fear as the chopper's slayings went on unanswered. I'm afraid we might have something similar brewing now. Last night, the murderers struck at the sawmill. There are 2 victims, and they're in gruesome shape. The bodies were discovered by one of the mill's workers, a man named Ivor Thorne. And by the time my men and I arrived on the scene, a crowd of curious gawkers had already sprung up. I've got my men stationed there now, keeping the mill locked down. But the thing that bothers me isn't the fact that we have 2 dead bodies inside. It's the fact that this is actually the second set of murders we've had in the last few days. I've come to you for help in this matter. My men are good, but they're also green. They were barely able to handle themselves against the goblins, and what we're facing now is an evil far worse than goblins. I need the help, but I'm afraid you'll need the help too. You see, I'm afraid that this particular murderer knows one of you as well. And with that, he takes this envelope and he holds it out to show you.
We take it.
Whoa.
Oh, that's my name. Why is mine?
Indeed.
She just looks very confused.
You can read?
I can read my name.
Oh, well, I don't know if I could read my name if I saw it.
A torn and blood-spattered letter is clutched in his hand. He holds it out to you, Blythe.
I
And he
don't
says, "You'll want to read this."
understand. Oh, there's more.
Ooh, you gotta read it
Yes,
first.
it's not just a postcard. It has a letter inside.
Oh, right. And she'll hurriedly open it. Like, oh, right. That of course that's what you do with an envelope.
Ew.
Oh.
And with that, I
the
think
pack.
I believe we will put a
Ooh,
pin
is this like? Ooh.
Sven's getting very
in this
possessive.
session.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, Blythe hasn't read it to us yet, so.
No. Oh yeah. So out of character.
Out of character, we know. But in
Out of character, Sven's getting very possessive.
Yes.
Mhm.
Zoo, the stuff that you wrote are.
I don't know. Is that
not-
a? Is it
Those are
not-
Dungeons and Dragons items,
Oh.
not Pathfinder items.
okay?
Um,
I was just trying to read what would be good because I guess I'm just not knowledgeable enough when it comes to items for like a barbarian. I have not done my researches.
okay.
Boiling
I mean,
down what I'm saying.
we have. I won't do any of my downtime calculations until I figure out how many of my days are spent making magic
Okay.
items.
Gotcha.
But so like between now and next session, if you can figure out items
Yeah. I'll make sure they're
and just
Pathfinder.
post them in the Discord so I can tell you if I
Okay.
can. I'll let you know.
Yar.
I will give Cardi a set of 10 silver blanched bolts, and
yeah.
also Blythe a set of
Woohoo!
10 silver blanched arrows. Or arrows, yeah. Bolts for
Yep.
Cardi, arrows for you.
Okay, you can also just leave it as weapon blanch, right? And just
Yeah, I'm just gonna
You
keep
can,
it
but
as
You might as
I
well
think-
use it on ammo because it's kind of terrible on
True.
weapons.
for you guys. It is worth using them as ammo. For me, it is actually worth keeping it as patches. Because I would probably, I might
Yeah.
like apply them to arrows or bolts later as
Well,
I
it just
need.
depends on the situation, right? Like, if we're
Yeah.
going against a ghost or some shit and we need a silver weapon to actually hit them, then yeah.
Assuming you have time to actually do it when you need it.
Well,
Yeah, you can't do
if
so
my
much
options
blank.
are stand there and apply a blanch or swing wildly and hit nothing, I think I'll probably
I think
just...
it takes a little bit of time.
It's like 10 minutes to apply a blanch, I think.
Fuck,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Never mind. Look at me with egg on my face, alright.
Yeah, how long does it take to apply?
So I think you have to pour it on there and then you have to like heat it up. And
Yeah, because the blanches are like a granule, it said.
Yeah.
I briefly
Basically
skimmed.
you're basically applying a very thin coating of the material onto the outside of the
imagine
weapon.
like weapon oil and Witcher and shit.
Yeah, just nowhere near as quick.
Right.
Actually, no,
not
it
on
doesn't
the
take
page.
though. When poured on a weapon and placed over a hot flame for a full round, however, they melt and form a temporary coating on the weapon. So as long as you have a hot flame,
Yeah?
then it can be done. I would like to make some ghost salt arrows, but they don't have a craft alchemy DC.
Oh, that's interesting. Why not?
Into a weapon. Let me go back out. It's not listed there. Maybe it's listed up at the top. I need this page to not have so much shit on it.
25 from a post by James Jacobs on the Pathfinder forums.
Well, if James Jacobs
hey,
said it,
that's-
then it is law.
That's Bible right there.
It will take a long time to make some, but I would probably consider them worthwhile. Because having something that can touch ghosts is
Mm-hmm.
Full damage to
pretty
incorporeal
good.
creatures, even for non-magical weapons.
It would take over a week to make some, so I probably won't make some now. But once I learn a little bit more about crafting and everything, I'll
Yep. We have all that
commit
extra
to it.
ectoplasm, so you can just use that to make ghost salts.
just smear it on there. Fuck it,
It-
maybe it'll help. Oh my god. So speaking of ectoplasm, I have been I've been back at work, and apparently in the time that I've been gone, they've given us new hand sanitizer. And this hand sanitizer they've given us comes in these big, like, you know, like the huge buckets of like ketchup that you can get and like pump it, you know, like big, like gallon and a half jugs.
Yeah.
It's in those, and this is the slimiest, nastiest, gooeyest, cow snottiest hand sanitizer ever. It's like they got the ratio of the gel portion.
Yeah.
It's like too strong, so it leaves behind like goop on your hands.
Oh man.
Like it leaves behind the gelatin.
Is there any
Yeah.
chance that it's organic and it's actually aloe vera? Because it sounds
It's
like aloe vera.
it's hypercellulose or something like that.
Okay.
I'll look at it again.
That sounds like
tomorrow,
plant. I hear plant.
Yeah. It is nasty. It's turbo gross. Like
Yeah, that's nasty.
I want to go wash my hands after using it. I used it
Working
one time.
as
and
intended.
That's it. Yeah.
It's new hand sanitizer with healthy habit.
Yeah. Motivate you to double
Just-
clean.
Double clean. Yeah. So I think I crafted something for everyone, and then Zoo, once you figure out what you want. Honestly, like Cloak of
Sure.
Resistance, Natural Armor, Amulets,
I would
both
Well,
I would like a cloak of resistance. Those
I
are
guess-
500, right?
500, yeah.
I guess I get kind of confused because I know when Tanner was playing a barbarian, he said that his character wasn't good with magic, and also got like a penalty when people tried putting magic on him.
That
He
was
took
because
certain-
of class
he-
things that I did. That's not
Oh,
He
default
chose that
barbarian
for
stuff.
himself.
okay. Oh,
I walked
okay.
that lonely road, the only road
Gotcha.
that I could
So
ever
you
know.
made yourself crippled.
I wasn't crippled.
He
No.
wasn't crippled,
I
but that was
just
also
didn't.
like
I also didn't. I know more about how to operate the class now than I did even once I had made those choices. Because I never
Gotcha.
really rage cycled, which is one of the key things to doing a barbarian, and I just, in my hubris, decided not to do it. What the fuck are you doing back there? That's not yours. Stay out of that. You fuck.
Right.
cool. Yeah. So once Sue
Yeah.
figures out, because if I'm gonna use on the downtime system, if I'm gonna use spellcraft for my money making, then I can't be doing both crafting items on the side and using it to make money. So I have to just figure out how many days I spent crafting stuff for everybody else.
Yeah.
I definitely want one as well. So if you want to factor that in,
Yeah, that's just, it's just one day, so I just need to know how
okay,
many people want
fantastic. Yep,
item.
yep. I want 5, but
No,
I'll
you can
take
have
one.
one.
I wanted to do the same thing, man.
I will.
Except
I
on
will
my
sell the
level
others at a
11
profit.
character. Oh. Yeah, there are like specific provisions about like not allowing about that not being possible because you'd sell them
Yeah.
for the same you spent on them.
Which is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
so like they actually, when I was looking up the +5 cloak of resistance for Ryan, I found out why that is. It's like in the downside system, if you use spellcraft as like I'm crafting magical stuff to be sold during my downtime, like it's generally suggested that that's what you do instead of like let me craft this magical item, because what you would end up doing is like you'd sell it to a vendor who sells it at their store, but they can't sell it at their store at a regular rate because like magic items are so expensive that like in general like a magical vendor will sell like one item every few months.
Right.
And it sets them up for the next several months.
Yeah. So
so like you can't just like, oh, let me make 19 cloak of resistance +1s
right.
and sell them because like no one's gonna buy them.
Sheriff Hemlock had a +1 cloak of resistance that he was just kind of keeping as a memento. It's not like he was. It's not like everybody.
And that was like a family
needs
heirloom,
or
right?
gets
Like
one of
everyone in
those.
his family had it before him. Like
It wasn't his. It was the previous captain of the guards.
oh, it's like the captain of the guard, like heirloom,
yeah.
like passed down from like one
Yep.
captain to the next.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Not so much, but it was. It's not like an heirloom, but he just kept it because as a memento to his previous commander, to his captain, Captain Averton or something like that. I want to say, who was killed by the chopper during the late unpleasantness.
But yeah, the general assumption is that like you can use like craft wonders item or spellcraft check or like craft alchemy to like craft minor magical things that like might not be magical items that are on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still crafting them, and then you get that like gold per day equivalent of you spent this time doing this service for someone, and that's profit that you make every day.
Yeah.
So people were like, yes, if you want to help your party, this is how you do it.
Yeah. There's also like a maximum, like if we, depending on how granular we go with the rules, like this is our first foray into like magic crafting. So I'm trying to be fairly even keeled about it. But I can see the money getting wildly out of control if I'm not forcing some of the rules things to be a little bit more to stick to them a little bit closer.
Yeah,
because I can be pretty free. I try to let you guys, if you guys do something that's cool, I usually try to say yes to it. But this is one where I have a feeling it's gonna spin out of control fast if I don't like prepare myself what the limits are for stuff like this. But there's like skilled and unskilled work you guys can do, and 3 weeks is like probably the max that I would want to go for downtime most of the time. But I
Yeah.
think that's a fair. That's the time period that they set for like a training thing for an animal. So I think that for this time, that's a fair one to do.
Dope.
Thanks for playing, guys. I hope you had
Thank
fun.
you.
Thanks
Yeah.
for hosting.
A little bit weird,
Yeah, it only took us a year and a fucking half to get one book done.
dude.
Mm.
I'm hoping we can move a little faster through the other ones. I'm a little bit worried that Matt is gonna not be able to hack it, especially their baby's due in like a month and a half or that. Like,
Yeah, could get spicy after that.
it's gonna
Big
get
baby.
spicy. I have a feeling.
But it was nice to have him. And we can just steal all his loot when he leaves. It's fine.
Well, I really hope that I don't. He
He
seems
seems
like
to enjoy it.
Yeah, he seems like he's having a good time. Sometimes it takes time to get into the flow of it, and I
Yep.
think not having a headset is like a severe disadvantage.
Definitely.
Yeah, if you can't
His mic-
hear.
like, what's wrong with his microphone?
He's playing. He doesn't have one. Like he's
Okay.
like his PC, his onboard PC mic is terrible, and he
Oh, he's
uses-
using a
so
fucking
he's been
array
using his-
microphone?
He's been
Ew.
using
It
his
sounds like it.
phone. He's using his phone. I think is what he's been using.
Ew.
And like it's just you're making it hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Doing that, and it can be really hard for me to hear him, especially when the volume is changing and
Yep.
there's
Mhm.
other people talking.
It sounds
it
like
could be
he needs
easy for me to lose
a
him.
fucking baby gift for
Oh,
himself.
bro!
He's getting a headset.
He said he's getting a headset. He's a
Oh.
doctor. He should be able to afford
Dude.
it. I mean,
You're
He
right.
has a house that could hold
So
20
he's buying
homeless
us.
people.
Yeah, why isn't he buying us all headsets? No, I'm kidding.
I mean, technically, I could fit 20 people in my house. I wouldn't recommend it, but
I've
We could
definitely fit 20 people in my house, but they were
Yeah.
stacked pretty
Technicality.
carefully. I mean,
yeah.
It'd be a
Yeah.
fire hazard if we tried to fit more than like 5 in my house.
Yeah.
2 people with like places that you can call your own.
Yeah.
Mm.
yes, me, my 2 roommates, and my cat.
Yeah.
Yes, but you live in a room that you can call your own, right?
Mm,
It is your
no,
room.
I mean, if you don't count the cat, who honestly spends more time in it than I do.
I think you're missing the point of
He's-
unless
I
are
am
you
a guest
trolling
in
them?
someone's home, Tanner.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think either
A little different.
Tanner's trolling
I do pay
or
the. Yeah,
I mean, I do pay rent, but like,
I am
I-
definitely distributing shit. What the fuck is a Vitus flask?
I am getting tired though, so I'm gonna call it for me. But thank
I'm
you,
also gonna head to
Smitty,
bed.
for hosting.
Yeah. I hope you're
You do
feeling
a
Much
great
fun.
job, by
All
the
right,
way.
Chris.
feel better, Chris.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'm doing my
Yeah,
best.
I don't know, man. Like it's either crippling amounts of anxiety and psychosomatic symptoms, or things are getting bad.
Not both, probably both. Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
We'll see.
the psychosomatic just doesn't help the rest of it. Like,
All right. Well, if don't stress about anything related to this game. I know that that's not probably happening anyway, but on the off chance it is, don't trip.
Sure.
Sweat the
Work with
small